live. It says going live. I hope it's working. Going live. Seems like we're live. We should be live. We should be live. Pretty much it says we're live, so we're live. Cool. So, guys in the chat, let me know how everything is looking and sounding. I'm gonna have to play around with the background audio and stuff of that, and things of that nature. So just keep me, just keep me up to date on how the audio is sounding and such. If I see Alexander Baruso is asking, where's Brandon? Well, Brandon, we initially planned to do things together. However, it appears that his internet/power is out because in Texas there's a whole bunch of snow going on. They're usually not prepared for that. So he may not be able to make it this time around, but I will be just kind of waiting on Brandon to see if maybe he can make it. I have our DMs right here. It would be nice to react with them, but we may have to wait until the next direct. Let's see here. He's here in spirit, though. So, this is the pre-show for the Nintendo Direct. It is starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time, and there's a whole bunch of other time zones in the world, so be aware of your time zone. But within an hour, we will see stuff. 40 minutes from now, we will see stuff. Absolutely. So, for sure, guys in the chat, again, let me know how everything is looking and sounding. Ask questions. We're gonna speculate, talk about, have some last minute predictions, go into a little bit more detail about what I talked about yesterday. I see Freddy68 saying sounds great, looks great. Thank you very much, Freddy. But yeah, we're gonna go in for this final 40 minutes before of not having a direct, and then the direct's gonna happen, and it's gonna be fantastic. So while everyone's sort of rolling in here, right, I'm gonna just kind of, I guess, general summary of what to expect, right? I mean, literally here on screen, Nintendo Direct, February 17, 2021. I was going to say 2017. 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in on the 17th at 2 p.m. for a Nintendo Direct live stream featuring roughly 50 minutes of information focused on available games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and games coming to Nintendo Switch in the first half of 2021. So, what does that mean? Focused on available games like Smash Bros. And games coming to Switch in the first half of 2021. What that means is that predominantly, at least based off the wording here, if assuming they keep to that wording, what that means is that most of the direct of this 50-minute presentation is going to encompass information on games that are already out like Smash and games that will be coming out in the first half of 2021. So what that actually means, right, is that while there will be a focus on those two categories for most of the presentation, that leaves room for some of this presentation talking about things beyond 2021. Now, am I expecting for Nintendo to completely confirm their holiday lineup? No. But I do believe, have hope, and expect, and I'm predicting that there will be some mention of Zelda. Zelda's anniversary is coming up. It's just days away. It's this Sunday, I believe, February 21st, I think. The point is, this weekend it's happening. They're not going to make any announcements on then. Maybe they'll have a Zelda Direct later, potentially, but I really just feel like they have this huge 50-minute Direct, which is maybe one of, if not the longest Direct we've seen. It's one of them, at least. It's definitely up there. There's going to be a lot of information here. This is the last time we got a general Nintendo Direct was September of 2019. So there's going to be a lot of information here, I think. And with Zelda's anniversary right here and it being so large and all the trademarkings that have happened and such, and the way they treated Mario, I gotta think they're going to talk about Zelda. I gotta think that. And with Breath of the Wild 2 having been in development since 2017, actually, but they showed us a trailer in 2019, I gotta think they're going to at least mention that. So I think that would be the thing that would not be coming out in the first half of 2021. I mean, if it comes out like June, that would be mind-blowing. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I'm definitely not expecting it either. Like, that's not an expectation. I'm expecting Breath of the Wild 2 to come out for the holiday. But they can at least give us a little teaser similar to what we got in 2019 and actually give us a release year. Just say 2021. You don't even have to say holiday, fall, spring. Just say 2021. They give us that. I think that could be how they end the presentation. But I think that there's a really good chance they're going to open the presentation with a Smash trailer, basically confirming or at least teasing the next character. Who is that character going to be? I don't know. There's just way too many options. I have a hope that's going to be a first-party character. I know a lot of people are really thinking Crash Bandicoot. Not out of the question, right? But I do feel like a big third-party character like that could be saved for maybe something like an E3. But again, maybe they have something even bigger for then, because if you look at how Nintendo and Smash Brothers and Sakurai have been sort of releasing the characters lately, we got the last character, Sephiroth, December, just 2 months ago. And then 2 months before that, in October, Steve. So this sort of deluge of Smash information is coming out far more quickly. The characters have been coming out far more quickly. It looks like they're really finishing things up here. So, there may not even be room to save like a big third-party reveal for E3, because by E3 time, we may be almost done with the Smash DLC. So, whatever big characters they have left, I mean, it could happen at any point, really. So, we'll see. But I also think a big Nintendo character would be pretty awesome. This is an actual presentation that is going to have Nintendo announcements, like internally developed Nintendo games. We haven't gotten that for a really long time. We've talked about it. You look throughout all of 2020. Yes, there was a pandemic and all, but if you look at the games that came out then, for the most part, they weren't internally developed Nintendo games. Yes, Nintendo published things. I'm not saying they didn't publish things, but in terms of their own internal developers, it was very minimal. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, fun, awesome spin-off game for the Zelda series. Really great. That was developed by Koei Tecmo, not Nintendo. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, a remaster. 3D All-Stars, a remaster made by a small team in Europe. Mario Kart Live Circuit, not even made internally by Nintendo either. Paper Mario, Intelligent Systems, not internally Nintendo. Monolith Soft did make Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, but again, just a remaster. Animal Crossing New Horizons is internally developed by Nintendo, but that was delayed until 2020. And that was pretty much it, save for like 51 Worldwide Classics and Tokyo Mirage Sessions, I want to say. It wasn't a really big year by Nintendo. There wasn't that many big new things that came from internal Nintendo developers like Retro Studios, Monolith Soft, EPD, all the EPD groups. We haven't seen anything like that. And a lot of those teams have been working on things since 2017. So in 2021, you gotta think some of those things are coming out. I think finally we're gonna get some of those kinds of announcements in this presentation. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Let's see. There's quite a few people in the chat. Hello, everyone. Cool. Paul Dune, it's time. Yes, it is. It is time. Dr. Cinnamons, what are we seeing tonight? Hopefully a lot of good Nintendo stuff. Gamebird Classic, what is up, my bro? How you doing, buddy? Visible Broken, hello. I'm good. Gamebird Classic, I am also very excited right now. Perhaps beyond. Cycly, hello there. What are you saying here? Hey, Andres, I'm absolutely just exhausted by working exams today, so I probably won't stay long enough to see the actual direct, but I still want to swing by and say hello. Well, thank you for coming by and say hello, Cycly. I really appreciate that. Garen Buckley, I got my salt ready if this direct isn't great. Have the salt ready. I reckon that there's going to be a lot of good stuff here. That's what I think. Is everyone going to be satisfied? No. No one ever. It never is it the case that everyone is excited. Will a lot of people be excited? I think so. Am I going to be excited? Yes. But here's my perspective when it comes to like Nintendo presentations as a whole. Do I have expectations going into them? Yes. Are my expectations always correct? No. Am I disappointed sometimes by some things? Yes. But I also am flexible, right? So I still try and appreciate what we do get. So for example, Bowser's Fury, awesome, loved it. Even though I'm not a super big fan of 3D World, I picked it up. I'm really enjoying Bowser's Fury right now. Really excited about that. Age of Calamity, even though it's a Zelda spin-off, not Breath of the Wild 2, I was still able to sort of move my disappointment away from not seeing Breath of the Wild 2 yet and get excited for Age of Calamity. You know what I mean? Paper Mario: The Origami King. That was an awesome game that we got to play last year. Even though we didn't get a whole bunch of other things we're thinking about and hoping about, like Metroid, there are still other cool things, is my point. So even if I don't get my Metroid Prime trilogy, which may not even be confirmed during this direct, but if I don't get anything Metroid here, if I don't see anything Zelda here, which I really doubt, there's still going to be some cool things. There's going to be a new Smash character, probably. They're probably going to announce a few other games. Maybe we see a game from the Mario Kart ARMS team, for example. There's a lot of things here that we obviously don't know about, but regardless of what Nintendo announces, I'm sure there's at least going to be a couple things within this 15 minutes that I'm going to be like, yeah, that's going to be fun. So, you know, it'll be great. Sammy plays games. If there is a Zelda Collection, what's your predictions for the games that would be in there? And would it be at this Direct? So, I'm going to tell you that my personal expectation is Breath of the Wild 2 for this holiday, Skyward Sword HD for like the first half of this year. I think it's going to come out separately. But I fully acknowledge there's a potential that there will be a collection. Absolutely. I think there's a possibility of that. I could see a Twilight Princess Wind Waker coming alongside Skyward Sword. Do I want to... I'm not like super... I'm not like... Again, I expect Skyward Sword. I don't expect all three, but I'm definitely acknowledging that as a possibility. I do think there will be some Zelda releases throughout the year coming out on the eShop. Absolutely. But in terms of the two big releases for the year, I'm expecting Skyward Sword HD and Breath of the Wild 2. I would love to see, and I don't think this is really that much to ask for, a Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask port to the eShop, perhaps through Nintendo Online, something along those lines. If you look at 3D All-Stars and what they did with Mario 64, I basically want them to give Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask that treatment. Clean up the HUD elements, obviously raise the resolution a little bit, and just adapt the controls for Pro Controller and Joy-Cons. That's it. And that would be fine. I would love that because I love those games as they are. I think if you want to kind of reimagine them, it's going to require a great deal more work. So I'd rather they just give us pretty much what we got in the N64, just, you know, spruced up slightly. Obviously, I would love to get a remaster, but I'm just saying what I'm expecting, what I think will be great for a lot of people, myself included, would be that. Afternoon, lads. TC. Oh, did you see that? Now I'm allowed to full screen the Direct now. How about that? They are getting ready, guys. What time is it? Okay, we got 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes. That's all right. We're good here. We're good here. Has any updates from Brandon? Not yet. Brandon, if you're watching, you're missed. Rios, morning in Australia. Good morning to you. Visible Broken. I feel like there's an at least like 55% chance we get Breath of the Wild 2 stuff because they said to wait a little while longer, and it's been a while longer. Visible Broken, I am of the similar impression. I think if you wait almost a whole year, that doesn't qualify as a little bit longer, but about half a year, that's pretty much it. I think February for the anniversary makes the most sense. It is the anniversary. Come on. Like, all right. Okay. I'm prepared to do a bit of a bet here. I'm just trying to be careful about it because I don't want to do something that I'll regret entirely. So I've made this other bet, if you guys have been following me for a bit, paying attention, that if we don't get any sort of Pokemon news this month, like in terms of like talking about new Pokemon games, it doesn't have to be a Direct necessarily, well, that's what I'm thinking. If we don't get any sort of Pokemon news this month, by the end of the month, that I will record myself going outside in just pretty much shorts and underwear and do Snow Angels for a few minutes. And it's going to be painful. I'm going to hate it. I grew up in Miami, Florida. I appreciate and prefer warm weather. But I will do it if I am wrong about there being Pokemon stuff coming out this month, like news. I feel pretty good about that one, though. But in terms of seeing Zelda stuff, I have not made a bet because I'm not as confident. But if you guys have any recommendations for what I should do to sort of make a bet here, like if I lose this bet on us seeing Zelda stuff, what would it be? I mean, you got to do it now during the pre-show because this is it. If it doesn't happen during this Direct, I think there probably won't be Zelda news for this month. But just let me know, guys, if you have any ideas of something crazy I should do that I'd be willing to do. I'm not going to do something that's going to like jeopardize my life or long-term health. Ravi Bond, hello. Darcy, I start work when the Direct starts, so I have to wait till lunch break to watch. Just stay away from the internet, imagine, and when you get to watch it, it's going to be awesome. The KG, I hope for Metroid news and goddammit themes. Maybe we'll finally get themes. I'm not sure, but that would be nice to see. Ravibot, I just rewatched your Breath of the Wild 2 reaction and it makes me so happy. I was very happy then, but I also lost my voice. If I lose my voice again today, I don't know. I'll be fine, but That was tough. But, it's just, I probably would be really excited. We'll see. Like, when it happens, it happens, I obviously want to see Zelda. Alexander Bruce says Zelda Four Swords. Ooh, that'd be fun to see. Yeah, multiplayer Zelda. As long as we get Breath of the Wild 2 as well. Just to make that clear. Breath of the Wild 2 first, and everything else can come after. Visible Broken. I'm almost certain we get a Zelda Collection this direct unless we get a specific Zelda direct. We shall see. TC, please, Zelda Gods. Paul Newhouse. Hey, Andres. Hello there. How you doing, Paul? Let's see here. TC, if it's Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, Twilight, I will shit my pants. That would be a good collection, wouldn't it? Let's see. Sammy plays games. Maybe the Zelda Collection is either March or May. April is taken by new Pokemon Snap, and Monster Hunter Rise isn't too big. The Zelda Collection could fit there in March. So, about the... Monster Hunter Rise, I'm willing to bet will... Monster Hunter Rise is probably going to be the best-selling third-party game on Switch. So it is really big, but it is a third-party product. Now, granted, Nintendo's pushing it, so I could see them coming out with another game in the same month. I really could see that. A Zelda Collection, I think, could be it. We've seen Nintendo do things like that in the past. For example, they were really hard pushing and also co-publishing Dragon Quest XI. That's for the Switch. They provided funding for that game to be basically remade for the Switch. And that came out in the same month as Link's Awakening Remake. It's two big games. And that happened. And that also was the same month as the Switch Lite release. And the months before and after also had a lot of big games coming out. So Nintendo could squeeze a game in the same month within a couple weeks. I don't think that's crazy at all. But I do think Monster Hunter Rise is very big. New Pokemon Snap, I could see maybe Nintendo just living with that for the month for sure. Personally, I've been predicting that a Skyward Sword HD could come out around May. But we'll see. Bryant McMillan. I doubt there will be a Zelda Collection. Nintendo wants to release a Zelda title every year, so they're not going to pull out all their cards in 2021. At most, we see Skyward Sword HD, Age of Calamity DLC, and Breath of the Wild 2. I'll give you that that's sort of what I've been expecting, but I also think we could see some eShop releases. I did talk about not too long ago that I think that there is a, whatchamacallit, a potential for Nintendo to focus on having other sort of Zelda entries. For example, last year we got Age of Calamity, right? We have seen that Monolith Soft has been hiring for some sort of Zelda development. It could just be for Breath of the Wild 2, but they might be working on their own Zelda spin-off, right? And of course, eventually we have to get an original 2D Zelda game, not just Zelda remakes, right? So I think there is room for games to come out in the next few years, and it doesn't just have to be like a Zelda remaster, right? So maybe next year we get that Monolith Soft spin-off, maybe the year after that we get a 2D Zelda, and then we get some sort of remaster then, or another spin-off of some sort, and then by that point we're already talking about the next big Zelda, you know? So I think it doesn't just have to be remasters they could use to sort of fill up the years, but at the same time I do kind of agree with you that they may not completely bring out every single Zelda game in history on the Switch this year. I think they'll treat it a little bit differently from Mario, but still, I think they're expanding the Zelda franchise. I think they will branch out, potentially have more cool spin-offs, but we'll see what happens. Let's see, I got a super chat here from Daniel. Thank you very much, Daniel. The hype is real. Thank you for a great channel. Love your podcast you make every week. Love from Denmark. Thank you very much, Daniel. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you've been enjoying things. And I am very, very excited for what's to come in just about 23 minutes. It's going to be great. Absolutely. Let's see here. The KG, the Smash character will come out in March around the new Amiibo launch. I'm glad you brought that up, because there is this Amiibo theory going around, and it's been fairly consistent. So whenever a wave of Smash Amiibo comes out, we usually get some sort of Smash news and announcement within a few weeks of that, like 2 to 3 weeks. So we're talking about like a 6-week window when you go from the back end to the front end, right? So I think that to expect the character to come out in March makes sense. I would say that based off us getting this presentation now, maybe we get a teaser now, and then a few weeks from now, we get the Sakurai Presents perhaps at the very beginning of March, and then a few weeks later, we get the Smash Amiibo. I could kind of see something like that happening, but they don't have to hold to that exact window, right? But based off Smash Amiibo theory, that's what I would sort of think. Let's see here. Same plays games. I mean, with the new Crash Bandicoot game coming to Switch, it says 70% chance Crash is a new character for Smash. I mean, the announcement was shortly before this Direct, but it's also coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. I think they just wanted to bring that game to all relevant new platforms or newish platforms, right? Because PS4 and Xbox One have been out for years. They were out for years before Switch. So, development for those games were taking priority, and now I think Switch and the next-gen systems are going to start taking more priority. So it might have more to do with that in terms of it coming out and being announced now. But, I definitely agree that Crash has a chance. I'm not sure if I'm as confident as you as saying 70, but definitely it's in the cards. And, I mean, it's the only character that I'm like, this one is like, whew, maybe. I still feel that Rex and Pyra makes sense at some point in this DLC. My hope has, or rather my confidence has waned a little bit, but still 3 characters left. I still think there's going to be a couple more Nintendo characters, or at least one more Nintendo character. And Sakurai did want Rex and Pyra in the game before the game came out. They got some more time with the DLC. He had expressed similar things with the ARMS character, so maybe we see something with Rex and Pyra, but maybe he also felt like the Mii costume was enough. We'll see. TCL happily take Skyward Sword. Any new Zelda? Let's see. It looks like my chat's not loading up here. Okay, there we go. It took a little bit. It's a lot. It just didn't want to load at all. All right. So I'm just trying to catch up the chat here. Freddy68. What if Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't appear on the Direct? I'll be heartbroken. But I think, and I just think that'd be strange and weird for them to not mention. They don't have to mention Breath of the Wild 2, but I just think it'd be weird if they don't mention Zelda, one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, in the first Nintendo Direct, one of the biggest Nintendo Directs, and we haven't seen a Nintendo Direct in over a year and a half. And it's Zelda's anniversary. It just would be so strange for them to not mention it even slightly. Especially because that's like the biggest, most anticipated game Nintendo has in development right now. It's just for all of those reasons, it makes sense for them to talk about it, right? It just makes sense for them to at least mention it. If they don't mention it, I'll scratch my head. It'll be a curveball. But it wouldn't be the first time. And again, as I was talking about earlier, I don't know if you heard me, there's bound to be some things here that will excite me, that will have me looking forward to what's to come throughout the year. At least for the first half. And again, this is meant to focus on the first half. So even if we don't get Breath of the Wild 2 news now, they're just focusing on the first half. They may save that news for later on in the year. Totally possible. Ice Sonic added me. Expecting some Zelda, Kirby, Donkey Kong, and Metroid stuff. Mild expectations. I'm also expecting Zelda, Kirby, Donkey Kong, and Metroid stuff. Maybe Fire Emblem stuff too, but that could take a little bit longer. Same for Donkey Kong. Same for Metroid, really. Zelda and Kirby, I kind of feel like are pretty good bets for seeing something in this presentation. Vilbeard, yo, Andres, excited, man? I absolutely am excited, man. How about you? Mad Society. I hope Nintendo doesn't forget Metroid's 35th anniversary. Next year is Metroid Prime's 20th anniversary, so I really hope Nintendo doesn't forget about Metroid. I don't think Nintendo's going to forget about Metroid. I think they're just waiting for the right time to bring this franchise back out to the world, and when they do, it's going to be pushed, it's going to be marketed, and it's going to do really well. I've mentioned it many times already. There's this huge crossover event going on with Fortnite. All sorts of characters from all different franchises are getting in there. Even Sony's Kratos from God of War and Microsoft's Master Chief from Halo have an ad to Fortnite. Nintendo's the odd one out here. I'm not asking for Zelda. I'm not asking for Mario. But I am thinking that if they have a Metroid game coming out this year, they want to market that. It makes sense. This crossover event in Fortnite is about bounty hunters. Who is the bounty hunter of video games? Samus Aran. So I hope that that happens, just because I think it would help market and push the franchise, and it could help new Metroid games sell really well. Maybe a Metroid 5, maybe a Prime Trilogy, and that could lead to better sales, more momentum. Prime 4 doing really well, and if that does really well, and it's like one of the best selling, if not the best selling Metroid game of all time, you'll have a large established new audience of Metroid fans, which will give Nintendo, the company, more confidence in developing more Metroid games more consistently, thus making us fans far happier because we can see Metroid games far more often. So there's a lot riding on all of this happening, I think. But I think Nintendo's just being very careful about how they do it so they can have another consistent franchise that they can bank on. So it all makes sense from both sides here. They make more money, we get more great games. Let's see here. Where we are. Oh, we're still 17 minutes away. Kieran Buckley. After completing Bowser's Fury, I hope the next 3D Mario game is just one huge Breath of the Wild style open game and not multiple sandbox worlds. I also would like to see a continuous open environment in Mario. Maybe make it so that, yeah, obviously you can sort of teleport and things of that nature, make it run around on Yoshi and different things to get around quickly for sure. But yeah, they gotta have fast travel. That should definitely be a thing. But I want it to be a continuous world like Breath of the Wild, because I really would just want to be able to explore the Mushroom Kingdom in full. Do you guys have? I don't know who in the chat's gotten a chance to play Mario Galaxy. I'm sure at least some of you have. But one of the exciting things about Mario Galaxy was that intro, that beginning part of the game, because you got to run through this festival, this mushroom town, the Toad Town, and that was leading up into Peach's castle. So this was obviously paying some homage to Mario 64. But in Mario 64, there was no Toad Town. It was just green hills, and it almost looked like an island when you look at the horizon, because it was just all water for the most part. But in Mario Galaxy, they painted this world that was... It seemed more realistic. There was a Toad Town, like just outside Peach's castle, it makes sense. It's a Toad Kingdom. And of course, if you look at the Mario Kart games and the Mario RPG games, they've shown things that sort of suggest more of this continuous world. But what if we finally got that in the mainline 3D Mario games, where we got to explore Mushroom Kingdom in full? That would be amazing. So I want to see that. And to your point, Kieran, perhaps Bowser's Fury is Nintendo sort of playing around with that idea a little bit. I've been enjoying the game so far. I'm about halfway, I would say, in terms of 100%ing it, slightly over 50 shines. I think there's 100 in the game. So I think it's great, and I think with some polish and some reworking, and obviously Nintendo will be giving their full efforts and focus on that as a whole game, as opposed to just an addition to remaster, I think it could be really good. Alexander Jackson. Honestly, Pokemon fans will go ballistic regardless if Gen 4 remakes are announced or not. You're saying even if they're not announced? Well, what will we get instead? We gotta get something, right? I would settle for Let's Go Johto. I'd still be slightly disappointed, but again, it would still be fun to play. I would still look forward to it, but I'm definitely wanting and expecting Gen 4 remakes, which I do not expect to be announced during this Direct, by the way. I'm expecting Pokemon news to come out next week. They usually do things separately. There might be a tease. They might make us wrong here, and it'll happen in this presentation, but historically speaking, Pokemon presentations happen separately from the main Directs. And if we go back to 2019, we had a big February Direct, I think, on the 13th, and then just 2 weeks later, they had one on Pokemon Day. So I'm thinking about a week and a half from now, we'll see a Pokemon presentation, similar to what we got in 2019. Exactly, Simon Plays Games. I doubt there's any Pokemon that do their stuff separately. You're right. Let's see here. Drone President the Controller. Hello, guys. How are you? I am doing well. Thanks for asking. The KG, Breath of the Wild 2 for holiday 2021. That's what I've been thinking lately. Let's see here. Mad Society. Do you think anything will maybe announce later this year for Metroid and Metroid Prime 4? I feel like Metroid Prime 4 could potentially be a E3 teaser, but it's coming out holiday 2022, similar to how they did the Breath of the Wild thing in 2019. Have a teaser like that, but I think is it possible Prime 4 comes out in 2023? I mean, anything's possible, but I feel like that would just be a little bit too long. I feel like 2022 is like that sweet spot. Imagine it comes out this year. There's no way, because we gotta get Prime Trilogy first, and there's 2D Metroid. I doubt that, but you know. Joshua Ayers, please don't do anything crazy, Andres. Love your channel and videos. Enjoy the direct and scream like a girl. I am going to scream very excitedly. How I come off, I'll leave that for everyone else to interpret. But I'm ready. Palca Salvador, hello Andres. Hello there, Paco. How you doing? Tyler, I need Zelda. I also need Zelda. RaviBot, if you don't scream at least once today, Nintendo have failed. Well, they do a good job of exciting me, so you know, I think I'm gonna be a little excited during this presentation. That's what I'm hoping for. Drone President the Controller, an idea for you: make a Fortnite troll video. If they do a Pokemon news in this month, I'll keep that in mind. JM0235. Andres, just based off of what you were expecting, what would you rate the Direct? Do you think it'll be pretty good? That's a great question. My expectations. So, given that this is a 50-minute presentation, given that Nintendo has been very careful about labeling any of their Direct presentations in the last year and a half as a general Direct, and they're labeling this one as a general Direct, and that it is Zelda's anniversary, and it seems due that they're going to be talking about that, I think this presentation has a lot of promise and potential. Nintendo has yet to really give us any actual news about what's coming out throughout 2021. Everything we know about so far are things that were announced last year or before that. So we don't really have any new information about what's to come now. So there's a lot of things they've been holding back for a while, I think. This Direct, I think, is pretty much guaranteed to be at least good. Is it going to be go down as the best Direct of all time? I'm going to say, I mean, it's, if you expect every Direct to be the best Direct of all time, you're surely going to be disappointed. But I do think it's going to be good. I think there's going to be some good stuff. Will this presentation be better than E3 2019? I'm going to say probably not, just because in my eyes that was the best presentation of all time from Nintendo. So probably not that good. But at the same time, we've been so starved for news and information, just because we haven't gone like that condensed Direct that has bundles of information, that since we're kind of like, I guess, numb, or our expectations have gone down over the last year and a half, this may have like that shock value to us when we get that slew of great information, if it ends up being comparable to like an E3 sort of like presentation. But this is not a E3 Direct. This is an earlier Direct. This is focusing on the first half of 2021, not Nintendo's big games for 2022. So it's tough to kind of gauge exactly. If I'm gonna do like a 1 through 5 star sort of thing, I would say this, I'm expecting perhaps a 4 out of 5. So I think it's gonna be really good. I don't expect this to be the best Direct of all time, but I think it's gonna be a really good one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they close out with the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer and Ganondorf talks and then maybe Link talks, that might, like, there's a potential for this to be a 5. Don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of like, I just don't think I should expect that, you know what I mean? But it's possible. Benjamin Epperson, do you think David Wise will return to help with music if a new Donkey Kong game came out? That's a very, very good question, I would say, because from what we understand right now, and granted, this is rumor territory, until it's confirmed by Nintendo, we don't actually know, but the rumors are suggesting that a new Donkey Kong game is in development but by the Mario Odyssey team. In other words, internal Nintendo, Eastern Development Nintendo. Not Retro Studios, Western Development Nintendo, or European Development Nintendo. David Wise, I'm not saying he wouldn't work with like a Nintendo EPD group. I'm not saying they can't have different teams or people working outside of Japan, but I am not as confident as I would be if Retro Studios was working on another Donkey Kong game to bring in David Wise to make some of the music. But given the history of the Donkey Kong Country games, I think there's that potential. You know what? Did David Wise work on Donkey Kong Jungle Beat? Like, I want to know that, because that was made by internal Nintendo, that Donkey Kong game. So if that had David Wise in it, then maybe, you know, maybe. Let's see here. I don't know. I haven't looked at his history in a while. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat came out in the early 2000s. He worked on he had some stuff in Smash Melee and Star Fox Adventures, apparently. It's Mr. Pants, Diddy Kong Racing, apparently. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Via Pinata. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Okay, so I don't think, yeah, so he didn't work on Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, apparently, which was an internally developed Nintendo team Donkey Kong game. Well, I mean, Retro Studios is still internal, but it's like more of a Western thing. So I'm gonna be real with you guys. I think there's a good chance that David Wise does not work on this Donkey Kong game. Now, Nintendo may be like, hey, you know, to get the Donkey Kong fans in, we probably want to get in his music. So they may still do it, because it does make sense to invite him to at least do a few of the songs. We have seen Nintendo branch out like that. So we'll see. But I am not as confident as I would be if Retro Studios was making a Donkey Kong game as opposed to EPD. Let's see here. Drone President, sorry. Pikmin 4, hope it's not canceled. Me neither. I think we'll eventually see Pikmin 4. So it could be in this presentation. I'm not necessarily expecting it, but it's definitely like an option. Let's see here. Kind of moving through the chat here. I don't think Pikmin 4 is canceled, by the way. I just think they're just taking their time with it. Let's see here. Drone President, the controller. The composer of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is Mahito Yokota. So yeah, David Wise didn't do it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think he could at least do a few tracks. I might invite him to something like that, but I'm expecting the overall composition to not be by David Wise. Iman Wafinazar. I hope I got your name right. Or them gonna make Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 will eventually happen. I think there's a potential that Splatoon 3 won't come out until next generation Nintendo Switch. But in the meanwhile, they may want to have something to tide fans over for the next Splatoon. So there could potentially be some sort of Splatoon spin-off game. That's been rumored for a little bit. Maybe that can happen. Or maybe they just give us Splatoon 3. Why not? I'll take that. I'll be fine with that. But they are still doing like events for Splatoon 2 to some extent there. There is some minor support. So, you know, hard to say. But I definitely feel like it would be weird if we went another 3 years without anything Splatoon. It's a big franchise for Nintendo. So definitely something. But actually that raises an interesting idea here. So recently we learned Nintendo has changed around their online servers. They haven't done that in over a decade. So this is big. It could be the case that Nintendo's gearing up to have some new big online games, a new renewed online focus that is better than the past. And with that, they probably want to have some games, right? The Mario Kart ARMS team, they worked on Mario Kart 8, they worked on ARMS, some of the biggest online games Nintendo's ever made. That developer, that internal Nintendo team, hasn't come out with a game since 2017, ARMS. It's 2021. It's enough time for them to make another game. So they could be making a game that could have a huge online multiplayer focus, and that could sort of, you know, pop up during this presentation, maybe later in the year, but that's a possibility, right? Another thing to consider is Monolith Soft could maybe be working on some sort of like multiplayer MMO like RPG as well. They sort of played around with that idea a little bit with Xenoblade X. Some of the hires suggest something along those lines. So they also could be having a game come out this year that could be sort of taking advantage of Nintendo's new online service. Obviously, we're getting Monster Hunter Rise later this year. So there could be some big multiplayer games that are, you know, potentially on the horizon from Nintendo. Definitely a possibility. I see that Experience Events added me. Andres Restart is underrated. I appreciate that. Thank you. You're underrated too. 3 minutes. Wow. Yeah, we are close, guys. We are very close. So, one thing that I haven't really talked too much about I didn't even do it in my predictions because again, it was like last minute predictions. Like I rushed to make that video before work yesterday, but definitely like they said, they're gonna focus on available games like Smash Brothers. I think the implication there is they're gonna talk about more than just Smash Brothers. I've seen some other people talk about it. They may talk about games that are already existing. Some people have been hoping and begging for Age of Calamity DLC. Given that it's Zelda's anniversary, I would say this Direct is the final opportunity for Nintendo to talk about the DLC for that game if it's coming. So let's take that into consideration. Going beyond that, Mario Galaxy 2, people have been hoping for that. So if there is going to be any expansion 3D All-Stars, that would be it. That could be like the final hoorah for Mario's 35th anniversary if they announce that right at the end. They could announce why they're sort of dropping some of these games from the eShop by the March 31st. Maybe they just plan on having them as individual releases potentially. Hard to say. But I just want to put some of that stuff out there. I'm having a hard time thinking of anything else that might change. Oh no, that was my background music actually. I probably should turn that off soon. Yeah, 2 minutes. I'll turn it off in 60 seconds. Oh, well, actually, it might be 1 minute. All right, let's turn it off now. All right. Okay. We are close. Again, guys, as the presentation starts, I'm going to be looking at the chat. So if you guys could just let me know if the audio is still sounding good, if it's still like a good bounce between my voice. And yeah, please don't stop. Please just make sure, let me know if it's sounding good, okay? I'd really appreciate that. Let's see, is the resolution where it needs to be? Quality, no. There we go. That's crisp. That's clean. Yeah, we are close, guys. But again, just let me know if everything's sounding okay, all right? I'd really, really appreciate that. Yeah. I don't need Discord open right now. Brandon trying to get on. No, he's busy. He's not gonna make it. All right. Oh, it's starting. It's starting. Okay. Okay. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Okay. Hey, it's starting. All right, just let me know if the audio is working, guys. Oh, oh! I can't. It's Smash Brothers. Xenoblade 2! Oh! Rex and Pyro are Smash Brothers! I called it! Yes? Am I wrong? Rex and Pyro are Smash Brothers! Is it so true? Is there no audio? Oh no! It's DLC? You can't hear it. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. You guys still can't hear it. I did not. Was there no background audio the whole time? Why is it not working? The audio should be working. I don't know why it's not working. I'm loving this, but I don't know why the audio is not working. Let me see if I can fix this. They're adding Xenoblade. Is this Xenoblade 3? I can't. The audio's not working, and I need to watch this. Oh, man. The Smash Brothers! Jesus! The audio's not working! Damn it! I knew it! But the audio's not working. Damn it! I can still. How do I fix the? Why did you guys say the background music wasn't working? Sources. The audio should be working. I don't know why the audio's not working, guys. I'm sorry. Zelda stuff was happening. Why is this is so freaking cool? And the audio's not working. Oh my god! This is amazing! Mithra awakens because Rex and Pyra. Jesus! How do I fix the audio? Why is it not working? It's always worked. Maybe if I do this.
What? You can even use that?
Is it finally working?
Hey, right here!
You guys can
You
do
two
it,
can swap between each other freely.
Serious firepower and blinding speed. Together, nothing can stand in our way!
Quite the spectacle, aren't they?
Wait, Gramps?
Gee, why is the audio
I
working?
missed this, everybody.
Man.
Mind if I watch a while?
Audio's working for
Oh,
you.
look, our friends are here. And there's some
The
more.
audio's working for you guys. Though. I don't know why it's not working for me now.
You're all mine. I'll lend you a hand.
Sacred arrow! Burning
Sword! Nailed it.
sure did! Witness our power! Shulk?
I never expected to see you two again. Well, now that you're in Smash, I won't go easy on you.
Ooh, fighting words. You forget. We're fighters too!
Okay, I can hear it now. Can you guys hear it? Now you guys can't hear it either. Jeez. No.
Hello, everyone. It's been a while. I'm Shinya Takahashi.
Finally, Rex and Pyra made a Smash Brothers, but my audio is not working. I don't understand.
However, we haven't been able to present a Nintendo Direct in this style for some time.
I don't understand.
I'm happy to share this Nintendo Direct with you all today.
Let's see.
We appreciate your continued support.
Jeez.
Okay, what you just saw was the reveal trailer for the newest fighter in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game, Pyra and Mithra. They originally appeared in the Xenoblade Chronicles series as Rex's 2-in-1 ally. Please look forward to seeing their moveset in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This fighter releases in March, so we hope you'll stay tuned just a bit longer. Alright, let's continue with our first batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
Yoshi. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That's good. I'm getting that. Like, the whole time, I thought everything was working great. Okay, I know I turned off the audio for a second, but hopefully this fixes things for everyone here. There we go. I'm sorry, guys. It should be fixed now.
You have
Rex and
22
Pyra are in
minutes
Smash
before the
Brothers.
solar
Thank
system is
God.
destroyed.
Rex and Pyra in Smash Bros. I'm so happy. It finally
Venture into the
happened.
vast reaches
Holy
of space
crap.
to uncover the secrets left behind by an ancient civilization. You have 22 minutes. After that, the sun will explode and the solar system will be annihilated.
Alright, y'all are working now, guys.
However,
Sorry.
everything will reset, allowing you to continue exploring while retaining information you gathered.
Thank you. Glad it's finally working now.
By repeating these cycles, you'll gradually unravel the mysteries hidden in the universe. What messages will you discover? How can you prevent the sun from exploding? Why is the solar system trapped in an endless time loop? Find out when the critically acclaimed Outer Wilds launches on Nintendo Switch Summer 2021. Put your sleuthing skills to the test in 2 classic murder mystery games. Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and Famicom Detective Club, The Girl Who Stands Behind. Two
Rex and
deep
Pyra.
cuts from Nintendo
They're in
history are coming to
All this
North
other
America
stuff
for
is
the
just
first
like
time.
passing by me.
Localized in
I saw that
English
Fall
and
Guys is
modernized
in.
for the Nintendo Switch system. Suspense, drama, and twists and turns await at every corner. You'll be on the edge of your seat as you dive into these deep narratives set in Japan. In one game, you'll solve a complex murder case surrounding a wealthy family in a haunted village while dealing with amnesia.
That's another prediction. That's right. Rex and Pyra, man.
But that's
Damn.
not the only case to crack.
They're coming to Smash Brothers. Yes!
In the other game, you'll investigate a supernatural rumor after a mysterious death to free students from a sinister nightmare. Interrogate suspects and hunt for clues to piece together these chilling conundrums. Can you figure out who the culprit
What a way
is
to open the
before it's too late?
Even though my audio is messed up. What a way to go to do that. That was awesome.
Uncover the deadly truth in Famicom Detective Club The Missing Heir and Famicom Detective Club The Girl Who Stands Behind. Coming to Nintendo Switch May 14th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. A new age of battles begins.
This is Fire Emblem. This is Fire Emblem. No, I'm not playing this. This is another Warriors game. Samurai Warriors 5. This is Warriors game. Cool.
The latest entry in the Samurai Warriors franchise is coming to Nintendo Switch. Dive into the history of the Sengoku period as the series now shines the spotlight on Nobunaga Oda and Mitsuhide Akechi. Character designs and visuals have been revamped for this installment. Unleash high-octane moves in electrifying 1 versus 1,000 battles. In Samurai Warriors 5, slashing its way onto Nintendo Switch, summer 2021.
It's a good thing to have on Switch. Very cool.
The vast world of Fadiel beckons.
So there's definitely
After
like a lot
20
of third-party
long
stuff
years,
here.
Legend of Mana featuring remastered HD graphics is coming to Nintendo Switch. You'll set off on a journey to find the mystical mana tree seen in a dream.
Oh, man.
Before discovering the world map,
What else is going to be
empty.
next?
During your travels, you'll acquire special items called artifacts. Place them on the map to bring towns, dungeons, and other lands to life. It's up to you on when and where to place artifacts, as well as how to advance the story. Join forces with characters, each on their own personal quests. Square off against fearsome monsters. Or take a break from adventure and rest up at home. The music has been rearranged for this enhanced version,
Nice.
and you can alternate between the new arrangement and the original soundtrack. Other features have been added, including the ability to turn off enemy encounters, as well as the new minigame Ring Ring Land. Legend of Mana will launch on Nintendo Switch June 24th.
Cool. What's... Oh, it's Monster Hunter. It's not Monster Hunter Rise update trailer. Oh! Capcom presents. I never got into the Mana series, but it looks fun. Wow. This looks awesome. I'm really excited for this game, guys. This is gonna be a really good game. Almuga.
Elder, I have important news.
So it's finally beginning.
Go assemble the villagers.
Cool.
50 years ago, Kamura village was attacked by the Rampage and Magnum Malo. And we suffered some devastating casualties.
How can we fight against that?
Our hunter's about to face the biggest challenge yet!
Dude.
No! We can't lose this gauge! Pull yourselves
Fight
together!
multiple.
You're not getting it!
Let's go, everyone!
Go
That looks
rampage somewhere else!
very
You
interesting.
listen to me now!
Whoa.
Here it comes! Watch out for the apex!
Dude.
Do not let it pass!
The rampage. How long do you think it's going to last?
Monster Hunter
know what?
Rise.
We should start preparations right away. We're here to offer assistance.
Oh. Oh. Oh, what?
We must stop the calamity!
To stop the calamity. The calamity. Is that a reference to Zelda later, maybe? Maybe? Am I looking too deep into things? Probably. Or am I?
That was the latest trailer for Monster Hunter Rise from Capcom.
Indeed it was.
How will our heroes fare against these ferocious monsters? Stay tuned for the latest installment in the Monster Hunter series, launching March 26th. Next, please take a look at this.
What is this? What is this? Mario Golf. Okay.
Fairway is open
It
once
happened.
again. Tee off in the latest installment of the
I
Mario
know a lot of
Golf
people have been asking
series,
for this, and
coming
here
to
it is.
Nintendo Switch.
It had to happen eventually.
Study the wind and terrain. Take your time to think things through. Then swing. Enjoy golfing with familiar Mushroom Kingdom characters on courses filled with lush, natural scenery.
Here we go.
Use features on the greens, like a shot gauge, to see how your shot will curve due to slopes, and a scan that lets you examine a course's terrain. These features can help you ace your shots.
Okay.
In addition to button controls,
Maybe
you
we'll get
can
Mario
also
Striker
use
next
motion
year, or a
controls
year- or a couple
by
years from
holding
now.
a Joy-Con controller like a golf club. Gently swing the controller to have your character swing in the game,
It's like Wii
letting
Golf.
you easily enjoy the sensation of golfing.
Actually, oh, you can
On
run
top
around.
of all that, there are several modes with new elements that truly bring
That
the
looks
heat
cool,
to Mario
dude.
Golf,
What?
including this one, Speed Golf.
Speed golf looks fun.
Here, it's always your turn. Everyone tees off at the same time, then you'll race through the course to reach your ball.
That looks fun.
Give it another whack to get it closer to the hole, then keep going. Outpace your opponents to come out on top.
That is.
Your golfing skills
I'm
aren't the
excited
only
for this.
things at play. Make use of dashes
Wow.
and special shots to beat the competition. Oh, did
And
we
me's.
mention story mode? As a Mii character, you'll start out as
Hey,
a rookie
it looks like
and
they're going all
develop
out
your
for
golfing
this.
skills while interacting with various Mushroom Kingdom characters. Level up with experience points earned during matches. Then, allocate points to different stats, allowing you to develop your character however you'd like. You can also use your Mii in versus play. Put your golfing skills to the test when Mario Golf Super Rush swings onto Nintendo Switch June 25th. Pre-orders begin on
Everything
Nintendo
sounds
eShop
okay, right, guys?
after
Everything's
this
looking and sounding
presentation.
okay? I'm still upset about the Xenoblade thing, but that's fine.
The latest game in the Mario Golf series adds new gameplay for multiplayer modes, as well as the familiar golf gameplay with easy-to-learn controls. Please look forward to this game on Nintendo Switch. Let's move on to more Nintendo Switch headlines.
Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Check out these games coming to Nintendo Switch.
They're gonna do like a speed roll of stuff.
Return to the unforgiving world of Pandora in Tales from the Borderlands. Play as the Hyperion lackey Reese
I would
and the
hope the Mario
quick-witted
Golf
con
team
artist
has
Fiona
online.
as you set out to recover a mountain of cash. Set between Borderlands 2 and 3, this game includes all 5
One of
episodes
those crazy guys.
filled with
We're not even
classic
20
Borderlands
minutes into the
humor.
direct.
Gangsters, bandit lords, and vault hunters are just a handful of the obstacles you'll encounter in this choice-driven narrative adventure. Embark on a wild ride when Tales from the Borderlands launches on Nintendo Switch, March 24th. 32 of Capcom's most beloved arcade classics are coming to Nintendo Switch. Rewind gameplay, adjust game speed or difficulty, and select from a variety of display options to relive that sweet arcade goodness. Get 1943 The Battle of Midway for free, then purchase game packs or the standalone Ghosts and Goblins add-on to build your collection. Local co-op play is also available. Scratch that nostalgic itch when Capcom Arcade Stadium launches later today.
We're just getting this. The Direct is back. I'm just excited.
Brains. As a zombie, you just can't get enough of them. In this action game from Aspyr, you'll build your zombie horde and take revenge on the city by turning humans into your undead allies. Replenish your bodily arsenal of sputum head, gut grenades, and more during your grisly mission. This city ain't no match for a dead man. Stubbs the Zombie in Rebel Without a Pulse eats its way onto Nintendo Switch March 16th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
Great.
It's Travis Touchdown versus
No More
Assassin.
Heroes 3.
Wait, aliens?
Right?
Aliens have invaded Earth. Hold up, is this even the right game?
Okay, I was just worried
Anyway,
it was a spin-off.
after annihilating an entire city, the aliens have taken over and now host an intergalactic superhero ranking tournament to decide Earth's fate.
Here we go.
As the crass, beam katana-wielding assassin Travis Touchdown, you'll need to fight your way to the top to save the world.
What's wrong?
Hey, not so fast. To enter each boss
Very
fight,
pixelated.
you'll have to do some odd jobs around town and earn enough to pay off the entry.
Like the resolution's
You'll
not
then
very
face
high.
off against a slew of unusual opponents.
It could be compression.
Most of them aliens with some crazy tricks up their sleeves. Study their tactics carefully to gain the upper hand in
I mean, it
combat.
looks like they're really focusing on having a lot
With
of
a new
variety
and
in
improved
gameplay,
Death Glove, you'll have access to a
that's-
variety of deadly skills that can be customized and
Exciting.
upgraded before each match. The fate of the world is at stake, so get ready to kick some, whatever aliens have that you can kick.
Call it.
Anyway, it'll all make sense when No More Heroes 3 lands on Earth. Or, you know, Nintendo
August
Switch.
27th.
August 27th.
That's technically going beyond first half of 2021. That's what we're actually.
Exterminate demons in heaven.
Okay.
As
What's
above, so below. Why do they need assassins in heaven?
This looks interesting. I like the art
Do
style.
someone's dirty work.
Whoa. This looks pretty fun. They can give us all the Zelda news in like 5 minutes. So
Kill or
I'm not
be
worried
killed.
until like
You won't last long if you can't rely on yourself.
we got 20 plus minutes before they need to talk about Zelda.
God's judgment has nothing to do with
I'm
it.
just waiting. The Rex and Pirate thing, huge for me. Hey, Mario Golf, pretty cool. I mean, we didn't know what Monster Hunter Rise. Seeing more Number 3, getting a date for Number 3 is nice.
Uncover Heaven's Mysteries in Neon White, coming to Nintendo Switch
This looks
winter
neat.
2021.
I'm interested in this.
The DC superhero girls are here to save the day.
Probably not interested in
Hi,
this.
everyone. My name's Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. I'm always inventing new gadgets to fight crime, like my batarangs and Bathook. This is Supergirl. She's super strong and has heat vision, plus super breath. And let's not forget Wonder Woman, an Amazonian warrior who wields the lasso of truth. Along with our friends Green Lantern, Bumblebee, and Zatanna, we fight evil supervillains to keep our city
Okay.
safe. But we're not just about the super life. We also have our school lives, and trust me, there's never a dull moment at Metropolis High
Oh,
School.
I'm sure it's fantastic.
Sometimes it'd be nice to get out of class and do some shopping
Take
downtown
exams,
with my
go
besties.
shopping, have
Ooh,
pizza,
maybe take some photos to
change
share on
clothes, take
Superstar Post
pictures.
while we're at it.
Oh yeah, great.
Hey, I got a comment already.
I'm
Nice.
sure someone will like this.
And I definitely want to hit up
It
Sweet
will not be
Justice
me,
later.
though.
Uh-oh, something really bad is threatening the city. No one could have seen it coming, but when justice calls, you can count on us to answer no matter what. We've just got to
They
make
might
sure
be done
no
with
one
the partner
figures out our
showcase. That might have
secret
just been a
identities.
2020 thing. Because a lot of this stuff is
DC
definitely like
Superhero
partner
Girls
showcase
Teen
for
Power
material,
heroically
you know?
sourced onto Nintendo Switch June 4th. Ready the juice cannons and prepare for battle.
Lines for zombies. I've never played them. I've only played like the mobile 2D ones. I think it was the initial platform. What's next?
Who
Oh
will
my
join you
God.
in your adventure?
Oh, it's me.
Anyone can.
It's a me adventure game.
Band together on a
Miitopia.
quest to face evil and save faces.
This is a Nintendo
Miitopia
product.
is coming to Nintendo Switch. Cast me characters in various roles across the kingdom.
See, this is the kind of
Turn
thing
your favorite
that
people into your allies, or even make someone the nefarious
I would
Dark
try
Lord.
if it was free. Then I would for it.
Makeup has been added as a new feature
It's
in
just
this
not.
game.
It's just not my thing.
Glam up your Miis and get them ready for adventure. There's also a new wig feature, letting you go
Some-
wild with your Mii
there's some
creations
detail
and
to
make
the
them even more
Cosmetics,
fabulous.
though.
In the world of Miitopia,
Cool, yes.
relationships are key. So consider spending some quality time with allies to strengthen bonds.
It's a me
This can give you an advantage
plus
during battle.
Sims plus RPG.
If your relationship's sour, though, things might take a turn for the worse.
I like what they're doing.
Whoa! You can have a horse
But-
as an ally? That sounds pretty darn good.
Barn.
Care for it, and it'll
Puns.
lend a hand, or poof, in battle. Venture with friends and familiar faces in the lighthearted romp Miitopia. Coming to Nintendo Switch May 21st.
It's a May game.
Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo
Probably not the
eShop.
only May game, but definitely a May game. All right, are we done with the fast stuff?
Super Mario-themed items are coming to your island.
Oh, they weren't done with the Mario announcements.
Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary-themed items are coming to the Animal Crossing New Horizons game.
That's
Familiar
right, computer
items
robots.
like the Super
I got my
Mushroom
Rex
and
and,
the
Pyra.
question
My
block can be
reaction was
ordered
botched because the
in-game as
audio wasn't
furniture
working.
items.
But oh yeah, Rex and Pyra,
So
Smash
place them
Brothers.
however
I'm excited.
and wherever you'd like. You can also place 2 warp pipes. Then use them to travel between locations on your island. Hey, why not try recreating the Mushroom Kingdom? A free update for the game launches February 25th. After downloading it, Super Mario Bros. Items will be available via Nook Shopping starting March 1st. Keep an eye on the official Animal Crossing Twitter account for the latest information.
Well, you get
We
more
hope you
Animal,
continue
more
enjoying
content
life
coming
on
to
your
Animal
island.
Crossing. Animal Crossing fans, rejoice. All right.
How was that?
It's a halftime show.
These collaboration items
It's all
will
halftime
be
stuff.
released as part of the Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary events.
Which is
Please
concluding.
wait a bit longer for their release.
Right?
Speaking of which, last week, we had the global launch for the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury game.
Love Bowser's Fury.
We hope you enjoyed that Mario adventure as well.
Yeah. But it's time to move on to Zelda.
Next, we have another game to show you.
Okay. What is it, guys? Oh, man. To each their own convictions. Fire Emblem? I don't know what this is. Those who value virtuous morality. Those who respect the liberty of all. Those who pursue pragmatic utility. Is this Bravely Default 2? What ideals will you espouse? The latest in the HD2D series.
He leaves us no recourse. Swords!
Yeah, it's not.
Never. S-Frost will answer for its crimes today.
It's
Are these the wages of loyalty?
It's
Raised earth
not.
and burnt corpses.
You and
more
no
based
other
off Octopath
must
Traveler.
decide how we proceed.
Octopath
You are a
Traveler
leader
2.
and must be the beacon others look to when the night is
I
dark.
got this art's
Together
trash.
with these fields,
Today you burn.
Wow.
I promise to do all in my power to see us through this safely, every last one of us.
Project Triangle Strategy.
Far, far away lies the continent of Norzilia, comprised of 3 nations
Glenbrook,
and limited
Asphost,
deposits of salt
Hyzant.
and iron. The constant feuds among the nations over these precious resources eventually ignited into a great conflict known as the Salt-Iron War. Though the hostilities
I love the
ceased with an
concepts here.
uneasy truce, decades later, the flames of war threatened to engulf the realm once again.
You are all that remains.
Caught in a tangled, fiery web of plots and conspiracies, a brave group from Glenbrook fights to save their kingdom from the powers that would orchestrate their downfall.
Our benefit, you say?
Battles.
In this new tactical RPG, battles take place on terrain with different elevations. A character's attack range is determined by their location and their equipped weapon. The range can be extended by attacking from higher ground with long-range weapons, such as bows and arrows. Thus, your forces can use the terrain and other elements to gain the upper hand. An enemy outflanked is susceptible not only to your initial attack, but also a powerful blow from the ally positioned behind the enemy.
What have we here?
Charge into an enemy to send them flying into position for a follow-up attack. We win. Link attached
This is
together
a game
by
that I think I
first
could definitely
casting
get
ice
behind.
magic on the flames to create water terrain. Then electrify
I don't
the area
necessarily
with
need, like,
lightning magic.
Several minutes them talking about it right now.
It
But,
is of the
you know,
utmost importance to survey
for
the
some people, I
battlefield
think we're gonna
before
be
taking
sold on this.
action.
I still haven't actually played through Octopath Traveler.
Throughout the story, you will
I
be
played the
faced
demo,
with making
liked it.
important
My friends were telling me
decisions
to play it
in a
forever.
variety
Probably will
of
now.
situations.
As soon as
Utility,
I'm done with Bowser's Fury
morality,
and Future
liberty. Collectively, your decisions will establish your conviction, affecting how the story unfolds and who will join your cause.
Once more, I would ask you plainly. Do we or don't we relinquish Prince Roland to Estrost?
Critical decisions that may determine the fates of nations are settled by vote on the scales of conviction. Use information you've gathered to sway allies toward your favored cause. The story will significantly change based on how the votes are cast.
So they refused to relinquish him to us.
Lies! His hand was forced.
As more and more critical decisions are made, your journey may take you down paths divergent from those of other players.
You will see what true might is.
Project Triangle Strategy, a brand new tactical RPG from Square Enix, will launch in 2022.
Wow.
Please be on the lookout for more
They're announcing it
information
so soon.
in the future.
And what they're gonna do is they're gonna have
After
like a
this
yep, there you go.
presentation, a demo version
That's
of
it.
this game will be available to download on Nintendo eShop. And in the future, we'll conduct a survey to gather player feedback.
Just like
We look
Octopath
forward to
Traveler,
hearing
just like
your
Bravely Default 2.
responses on the demo.
Please look forward to future updates on this brand
All
new
right.
tactical RPG
Now,
from Square
what's
Enix.
next?
Okay, let's see a few more Nintendo Switch headlines.
When you say headlines.
Calling all hunters. Do you have what it takes?
We are running out of time for Zelda and Metroid stuff. Still time, but we are running out of time. This is obviously Star Wars. Star Wars Hunters. I don't know if this is already a thing, but
Star Wars Hunters is a competitive, free-to-play online game set between episodes 6 and
free.
7. Clash in this
free.
third-person shooter coming to Nintendo Switch in 2021.
It's free.
All right, let's do this.
All right, Sal. Do I look at you or the camera?
Knockout City interviews, take one.
We all play for different reasons.
Gorgon loved battle. Gorgon used many weapons. Triple-bladed war axe, spear of misery, Hades' soul-devouring crossbow.
A princess is supposed to lead her people, not be stuck up in some tower waiting for a hero.
In my line of work, bullets are constantly whizzing past you.
Flaming longsword, blade of doom.
Just once I'd like to catch one of them bullets. You know, with my hands.
With this crown, I'm gonna lead my team to victory and kick some serious ass!
Look, it's simple.
Gorgon want new weapon.
In Knockout City, I'm like a kung fu master. I can catch bullets. Woo! Come get some. Got you.
Dodgeball?
Hey, Lieutenant, pass to me!
Roger that, princess. Here.
Let's find out what sound your face makes!
It's a form of dodgeball. It's a hero, non-shooter, multiplayer dodgeball.
Roger that. Heads up, Your Highness.
Eat this!
I mean, it looks fun.
Can't believe we're
Personality here.
losing to a bunch of dairy farmers. Okay, team. They may have won the battle, but not the war.
Hey, can we redesign our characters? You're not a team if you're not wearing a uniform.
Max, this is a war zone, not a bloody fashion show.
Pass to me.
What? Interview's over? Oh, come on, man. One more game.
I like the presentation of this. I think it's cute. Like it's multiplayer hero dodgeball, but could be cool.
The fight for survival starts now.
Hang on tight, cause you're all going to play a little game of fate for me.
From the creators of the Danganronpa and Zero Escape series comes a fight for your life, literally. Disoriented and trapped in an underwater theme park, the 12 of you, known as the Go-Getters Club, must now survive this game of fate at all costs.
This seems interesting to me.
Sorry to scare you all, but the game is canceled!
The game is suddenly called off. You escape the theme park and get a glimpse of Japan, but everyone's vanished. Set off on a captivating journey across the country that blends side-scrolling action with suspenseful narrative.
The one behind the whole game of
It still seems cool. But
As you make your way back home to Tokyo, you'll alternate between working solo and teaming up with the group to overcome challenges and monsters that stand in your way. What awaits you all at the end of your journey? The battle for survival begins in World's End Club, venturing onto Nintendo Switch, May 28th.
I mean, it still could be great. Absolutely.
Wield the powers of Olympus with the physical release of Hades. Hades, the critically acclaimed dungeon crawler and recipient of multiple Game of the Year awards, is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch. This version comes with a couple of extras to assist you on your journey out of the underworld. The first is a PC download code for the Hades original soundtrack. It's packed with 2.5 hours of blood-pumping music composed by Darren Korb, known for his work on previous Supergiant titles like Transistor and Bastion.
That's smart.
The second is a 32-page full-color character compendium featuring portraits of the game's vibrant cast of gods, ghosts, and monsters, all by Supergiant's art director, Gen Z. And let's not forget the game itself, offering dozens of hours of exhilarating action paired with a compelling story. Escape the underworld again, or for the first time, with the physical version of Hades on March 19th.
There's still time,
3
guys.
deadly action games, one
There's
masterful
still time.
collection.
Although it is
Ninja
getting
Gaiden
low.
Sigma.
We'll see.
Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. And Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge.
There's
are
no
coming
way
to
they don't
Nintendo
have
Switch
something
as the
hype at
action-packed
the end.
Ninja
There's just
Gaiden
no way.
Master Collection. You are the legendary ninja Ryu Hayabusa, fighting against a great evil with battle skills that are
Something to
second to
consider,
none.
guys. This could
Wield
be
an arsenal of
potential
killer weapons, each offering a
suggestion of a
playstyle
next
with different
Smash
set of
character.
lethal skills, along with ruthless
A super chat from
ninjutsu to swiftly take
Taker610.
down
You were
enemies.
duped, Andres. Bamboozled. Hold on. There's still
Quickly
time.
gauge your opponent's movements
Thank
while
you very much for
unleashing
the super
fast
chat.
and frenzied combos. And team up with other super ninjas in your quest to fulfill your destiny. All previous downloadable content, including costumes and game modes, are included. Revel in the intensity of Ninja Gaiden in one dynamic collection. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection slices its way onto Nintendo Switch summer 2021.
Okay. We're done with the headlines? No. Oh!
More
Age of
battles are
Calamity
coming to
DLC!
Hyrule
It's
Warriors,
beginning,
Age
my
of
friends!
Calamity.
DLC. Think about it. They showed the Zelda stuff during the Rex and Pyra thing. They ended Monster Hunter Rise on Calamity mentioning. They got Age of Calamity DLC. I think they've been teasing Zelda throughout this direct, guys. I think so. There it is. DLC. The expansion pass. Wave 1, expanded roster, newly added weapons. Wave 2, I didn't get to read it, but I'm sure it's new story content.
There's even more coming to Nintendo Switch.
They've been teasing throughout.
Bravely Default 2 is almost here. 4 Heroes of Light will soon embark on a journey to restore the crystals. Use the job system to develop your characters and master the Brave and Default commands to emerge victorious in turn-based battles.
I live to fight.
Veterans and newcomers to the series can enjoy this brand new story on February 26th. A new trailer for Bravely Default 2 will be revealed following this presentation. The game can be pre-ordered on Nintendo eShop. An updated demo is also available.
Trailer here.
The latest installment in the legendary Ghosts and Goblins series comes to life. As the brave knight Arthur, you'll unleash weapons, spells, and skills to battle monsters across challenging stages within the demon realm. Local co-op play is also available for the first time. Help Arthur in his quest with one of 3 supporting characters: Barry for defense, Carrie for transportation, or Archie for bridges. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection launches February 25th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
Okay.
8 protagonists, 8 captivating journeys. Saga Frontier has been remastered for Nintendo Switch. Travel through a stunning
they barely
sci-fi
told us
world
much about
with
the
any
DLC,
of the protagonists,
it's
each
a
with their
thing.
own stories. With the addition of the playable protagonist Fuse, new gameplay features, exhilarating battles, and a new scenario for the protagonist Acellus, Saga Frontier Remastered is an adventure not to be missed. The game launches April 15th.
It's an interesting art style.
Apex Legends is storming onto the Nintendo Switch system. This free-to-play battle royale features a growing roster of powerful contenders named Legends, strategic combat, cross-platform play, and more. All players on Nintendo Switch can get an all-new legendary Pathfinder skin, and 30 free levels for the Season 8 Mayhem Battle Pass. Plus, for the first 2 weeks after launch, earn double XP when you play on Nintendo Switch. Fight for fortune, fame, and glory when Apex Legends enters the fray March 9th.
All right.
How's it going so far?
It's
There's
honestly
still
just okay.
a little bit more to show you
A
in
little
today's
bit.
Nintendo Direct.
A little
So we hope you'll stick with
A
us.
little bit.
Next, please take a look at this.
Metroid trailer. Give it to me. Metroid trailer. It's Zelda!
Hello there. I'm
Fine.
Eiji Aonuma, producer
That's
of the Legend
fine.
of Zelda series.
It's even better.
I'm sure a lot of you saw me and thought there might be news about the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share right now.
You are.
We apologize.
No.
Development is proceeding smoothly, and we should be able to bring you some new information this year. For now,
Fine.
we'll have to ask you to wait just a bit longer.
Skyward Sword
While you're
HD,
all
though.
waiting, however, this Legend of Zelda game will be coming to Nintendo Switch. Please take a look.
Skyward Sword HD. Skyward Sword HD. It's coming, and probably not for free, but it's gonna be awesome. Here it is. We've been saying it. When's it coming out? Looks clean. Looks clean. How the controls work. Vertical, horizontal slashing. Skyward Sword HD. This might not be. There's still time in the direct. There's something after this, I think. Okay, so they did talk about Zelda. Skyward Sword HD. I told you. Okay, what of it? What about it?
What you've just seen is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
Right.
This game originally released in 2011 on the Wii console, and now it's coming to Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword featured a control scheme in which players would use the Wii Remote Plus controller as a sword and the Nunchuck controller as a shield.
So
With the
use the
increased
Joy-Cons.
processing power of the Nintendo Switch system, the controls here are smoother and even more intuitive.
Interesting.
And we've recreated the controls for the sword and the shield here by having the player hold two Joy-Con controllers.
Perfectly makes sense.
The Joy-Con controller in your right hand is the sword.
Right.
Swing it to have Link swing his sword in the game.
Perfectly understand.
The Joy-Con controller in your left hand is the shield. By lifting the controller, you can raise the shield to block enemy attacks. You can perform other actions like using both controllers to wield a bow and arrow. These physical movements add a sense of urgency and tension to combat.
Okay.
But we've also made it possible to play the game with button controls to ensure it
Thank
can be
you.
played in handheld mode or on the Nintendo Switch
Perfect.
Lite system. After mulling over how to assign different gameplay elements to different
they
buttons,
did exactly what
we
I wanted them to
decided
do.
to apply the sword motions to tilting the right control stick.
They did exactly what we've been wanting them to do. Thank you.
Tilt the stick down when you want
Now
to
just
swing the
confirm
sword
it to come
downward.
out in May, and we're good.
To swing to the right,
Or
to
April.
the left, or diagonally,
Or today.
just tilt the stick in the respective direction.
Have it come out for Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Here's something else we've been working on. Specially designed Joy-Con controllers. The right Joy-Con controller
I'm
is
buying
themed
them.
after the Master Sword, while the left features
I'm
a
buying
Hylian
them.
shield motif.
The fact that you're telling us
The
now, I
Legend
think
of Zelda
that shows it's
Skyward
right around the
Sword,
corner.
as the game depicting the earliest story in the Legend of Zelda timeline, details the events around the creation of the Master Sword itself.
Come on, give it to me. When's it coming out?
We hope
Really
that
soon.
people who played the original game on Wii and those playing it for the first time will enjoy discovering the origins of The Legend of Zelda.
Right. Right. July 16th.
The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword
Meaning
HD
Breath of the Wild is
launches
coming for the
July
holidays.
16th. Following this Nintendo Direct, you'll be able to pre-order the game on Nintendo
Yes.
eShop. And the specially designed Joy-Con controllers will launch on the game's release date at your local retailers. Many of you may already know this, but The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was the last original console game prior to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game, and it was still following the established conventions of The Legend of Zelda. However, it gave a glimpse into many features and innovations that would eventually be adopted in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Using the sailcloth to descend in midair, a stamina gauge that depleted as you scaled walls with vines or ran, even the concept of collecting items to upgrade gear. I hope those of you who've played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will give this game a try as well.
Absolutely. June's fine. Just a month off from I thought, that's fine. First half of 2021.
Please look forward to The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
Yep. But that's not the end of the direct, is it? Or is there one more thing?
Well, what did you think?
It was fine.
The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword has
Good.
been optimized for Nintendo Switch. It includes intuitive motion controls and button controls by tilting the right control stick. Okay, the next game will be our last announcement for today.
Please be
Please take a
Metroid.
look at this.
Please be Metroid. 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 This is not Metroid. Splatoon! 3 or a spin-off? It's a spin-off. It's a spin-off. This is what I'm waiting for. Is this like... This is what I've been kind of hoping for like a while though. So it's kind of like a darker theme to it, right? Little buddy's turn. I don't think this is Splatoon 3, guys. I think this is something else. This is epic. So is it Splatoon 3 or is this its own thing? love her her hairstyle. The little salmon's so cute. You gotta give me more than that. I need to see like what this is. Is it just Splatoon 3? It's just Splatoon 3, isn't it? Not sure. It's just Splatoon 3. That's what it is. It's Splatoon 3. Alright. Doing it. So how's the game different? I mean, they needed more stuff. Alright. This is coming out in the summer, isn't it? Like July or something. Back into the ink. Oh. Alright, fine. It's 2022. Alright, fine. Still cool. Still cool.
What you've just seen is the latest installment in the Splatoon series, Splatoon 3. This game is scheduled to launch in 2022, so it'll be a while. We hope you'll stay tuned for more information at a later time. Today, we showed you a sampling of games coming to Nintendo Switch. A variety of games are in development. And we look forward to sharing more news with you in the future. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Okay. Okay. I still like the video. Alright. So, now that I have my audio fixed, I'm going to put the background music that was actually on the entire time during the pre-show. Alright. Time for the post-show. Skyward Sword HD coming out this summertime is actually really, really good news. Because that leaves the door entirely open for Breath of the Wild 2 to come out for this holiday. As we've been discussing, right? I've been predicting Skyward Sword around May-ish, potentially June. Like, that's been a possibility. I've also hoped maybe a little sooner, but, you know, that window, right? First half of 2020 was my point. So, in terms of that expectation, that narrative, that belief, that's still fully intact. Nintendo did at least say, hey, look, we're still working on it. It's still happening. Don't worry. They mentioned Breath of the Wild 2. Not the teaser we wanted. They still said it's still a thing. It's still happening. So I think during the summertime around E3, after Skyward Sword HD comes out, that's when we get another big direct presentation. They talk about Breath of the Wild 2, and it's like a full blowout there. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I know. We have to wait a little bit longer, but they didn't ignore Zelda during this time. We got Age of Calamity DLC confirmed. We got Skyward Sword HD. So in terms of that, reconnection successful. Am I still alive? Jeez. Guys in the chat, let me know if this is still working. It says excellent connection, so I'm assuming it's still working. Seems like it's still working. Okay. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Breath of the Wild 2, still think at the holiday 2021 is still a very strong possibility. The fact that they have at least confirmed sort of that those baseline expectations for Zelda's anniversary, the Age of Calamity DLC, Skyward Sword HD, those things are happening. They're coming. And then Breath of the Wild 2, hopefully holiday 2021, we get a blow up this summer. Have to wait a little bit longer. Fine. But at least they give us Skyward Sword HD and in exactly the way I wanted it. Like exactly the way. So we're good there, right? We're good there. So, you know, for Zelda, again, I wanted more, of course, but they still gave us, they did give us Zelda. They didn't ignore Zelda, okay? They didn't ignore it. Things are coming. They're talking to us. They're being vocal about it. This is fine. So I wouldn't be worried about that. No Metroid announcements yet. Also fine. Metroid's 35th anniversary isn't until this August. They may want to wait until then. fine. I do think, though, that the fact that we didn't see any Metroid announcements now, I think that whole Fortnite crossover idea thing, gonna give up on that. I think the notion of having 2 Metroid games come out this year, now I really doubt it. I felt like they needed to confirm at least one during this Direct for that to be a thing. Now I really doubt that. But it doesn't mean we can't get at least one Metroid game later this year. So, you know, still holding out hope for that. I think it's fine. Rex and Pyra confirmed. Actually, you know, I need to rewatch that trailer because my reaction got botched. So I didn't get to see all the details, so I was trying to fix the audio. So let's is Rex even playable? Like, I didn't even get to see that. So see, it's not easy to say Rex, it's Pyra and Mithra reveal. So let's put that trailer back on here, guys. Let me take another look at this. See what's going on with this. Supposed to try, huh? No. I want to see the whole thing. I want to see the whole thing from Nintendo. Where is it? Maybe they're not ready. Maybe they haven't. No. I'm going to Nintendo.com or Nintendo's YouTube site. This is a whole trailer. Okay, this at least looks like a whole trailer. So we're rewatching this here. Okay. So Rex isn't playable, right? Is that what you guys are saying? Still rewatching this.
One day, Pyra just disappeared.
It's so strange. I love it though. This is great. No one knows.
I couldn't find her anywhere. It was as if she vanished off the face of all rest.
I want to replay it.
Without a trace. Where have you gone? I'll find you, whatever it takes. This is where you were. Pyra!
Sorry, Rex. I couldn't tell you. Because I got an invitation to join Smash!
I got goosebumps! Huh? I got goosebumps! So happy!
What? I thought I was gonna be in Smash!
I don't know,
Sit
man!
back and leave it to me, Rex.
Just leave it to her, Rex. She's fine.
Hold the power of the Aegis!
You're a mean costume. That's okay.
Smash Flare!
She's so cool.
How do you smash attack with fire?
Oh, man!
Flame Nova!
Her moveset is like, that's
genius! You're pretty much owning them, and these are seasoned fighters!
See, it's another
There are no
Link reference
pushovers.
right there, bro. I mean, there's some characters. Samus, Chris, like, but it's just, it's
Talk about
mostly,
a tight spot.
You got the boomerang, the bomb.
Let me handle this.
Oh, transform! Oof. What a great trailer. Mithra awakened.
Mithra!
Cutting it close, huh?
Hey, were these guys planning on winning?
Gee, I feel kind of bad now.
Coming through!
So cool.
Lightning Buster!
Oh, man.
Ray of Punishment! Chromazone!
I love the names.
Foresight!
They're just epic.
What? You can even use that?
Because she's awesome. Dude.
Right here!
I'm just
swap
fanboying.
between each freely.
I'm just
Serious
fanboying.
firepower and blinding speed. Together, nothing can stand our way!
Oh, it's so cool.
Quite the spectacle, aren't they?
What's our stage?
Wait,
Yes!
Ramps?
I've missed this. buddy. Monday by once in a while.
Yeah.
Ooh, look, our friends are here. And there's some more.
You're all mine. I'll lend you a hand.
He's in the smile smash.
Arrow!
That's
Burning
That's right. Burning
Nailed
sword.
it.
Sure did. Witness our power.
Rex is kind of it's very.
I never expected to see you two again.
Another.
Well, now that you're in Smash, I won't go easy on you.
Ooh, fighting words.
You forget. We're fighters too.
Yeah, you are. Oh, I got goosebumps, man. Man, I want to cry. Like, I'm just so happy. Like, I'm a huge like Xenoblade 2 fan, so like that's just like that it happened. Like it's happening. It's great. Sorry, I'm emotional. I just freaking love Xenoblade 2. It's just so good. And like it just made sense for them to be in, and they're in. So I'm just I'm over the moon for okay, not Rex, but I'm in the moon for Pyra and Mythra being in Smash Bros. I am over the moon for that. So like that to me, like it just, I think you guys could tell. Like I am just like very, very happy about this. Super happy about this. So we got that. We got Rex and Pyra. I keep saying Rex. I've been saying that for so long, right? Predicting that. But Pyra and Mythra and Smash Brothers. Rex is in the final Smash, and he's a Mii costume. It feels very Chrom-like, you know. So I feel like if there's another Smash Bros. A couple of years down the road, a few years down the road, like Chrom, he could eventually be added. What about Non-Arm? All that time of everyone saying couldn't happen. What a payoff. Absolutely. And yeah, Skyward Sword HD, right, Brandon? Exactly. Just using the stick, dude. Just using the stick. Wow. So if I gotta rank the Direct, I think not having Breath of the Wild 2 at the end definitely kind of lowers it a little bit. I felt like getting a Metroid trailer would have really been pretty hype. Seeing like I wanted to see, and it doesn't have to be Breath of the Wild 2. It doesn't have to be Metroid, right? It doesn't have to be those things. Those are the things we wanted. Those are not the things we got. But again, they said focusing on 2021. We got to temper expectations, right? But they still a little bit of that hope. So like it wasn't crazy for us to hope for Breath of the Wild 2. I just want to make that clear. Anyone who says you shouldn't have been expecting Breath of the Wild 2, I disagree. Because hear me out. Let me explain. Zelda's 35th anniversary, right? They made several references to Zelda. At the end of the Monster Hunter Rise trailer, Calamity. During the Smash trailer for Pyra and Mythra, Link was the most involved character there. Out of all the other Nintendo characters, Link was, right? But going beyond those subtle little things, they had Age of Calamity DLC as well. So there were Zelda references here, and then we still got Skyward Sword HD. So Nintendo didn't ignore referencing Zelda to some extent for the anniversary, is my point. You know what I mean? And they obviously still had Age and would come out there, say, hey, look, you have to wait a little bit longer for Breath of the Wild 2. They made all of those acknowledgments. So the premise of it saying that it was crazy to expect it, no, I entirely disagree. Especially because the game's been developed since 2017. But the other thing is that what they had as a final thing at the end is still really hype and is not even coming out this year. It's Splatoon 3. People didn't even believe that would happen. I wasn't sure. I felt like something Splatoon would happen. Maybe not Splatoon 3, but it's Splatoon 3. That is epic. That is awesome. I am excited for that. Felt like it was kind of weird that it was for 2022, you know? But still, that happened. And to my point, the fact that they were willing to show off a 2022 game to close things out as opposed to Breath of the Wild 2, you know, that expectation isn't crazy. Now, some of you may argue, well, Breath of the Wild 2 might not come out this year. Sure. Could be a 2022 thing. Doesn't take away from the point that expecting it to be at the end was not at all a crazy expectation at all. But the other thing is I don't think Breath of the Wild 2 is not coming out this year. I still think that could happen because they confirmed Skyward Sword HD for summer. They're going to want to have some sort of big Zelda thing for the holiday. It's got to be Breath of the Wild 2. It just got obviously it could be delayed, but like they're going to have something big for the holidays, and I don't think it's just going to be Pokemon is my point. So I still have hope for that. That's still there. Obviously, we want more information on the game, but that's fine. We can focus on Skyward Sword for now. That's exciting. Pyra and Mythra are in Smash Brothers. Mario Golf. That's it. I mean, Normal Heroes 3. We got a date for that. A couple smaller titles. First half of 2021 is filled out. We got Miitopia in May, Skyward Sword HD in June. Obviously, we know about new Pokemon Snap in April, Monster Hunter Rise in March. We just got Bowser's Fury. So that's kind of like Nintendo's sort of big game lineup for the first half. And then we'll see what happens going beyond that, you know? So, I mean, it's fine. If I'm going to rank the Direct, I'll say... The fact that watching the Pyra and Mythra trailer almost made me cry makes me say this is at least a 3.5. Could be. I don't want to say 4. I think the Direct. I don't want to say underperformed, but I think they lingered a little bit too much with a lot of their smaller announcements, and then it was such a long presentation. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and that's just a 5 being E3 2019. You know, 1 being that horrendous partner showcase we got last year. So yeah, the 3.5 I think is fair. You guys are saying 7 out of 10, which is what 3.5 is. So 3.5 out of 5. I think we're kind of all on the same page here, actually. Let's see. I'll put it back on the background music real quick. But let's see what you guys think in the chat here. What are you guys saying? Ice Sonic added me. I told you Age of Calamity DLC was coming too. Well, there you go. You were right. Absolutely, buddy. What about Nodnar? Brandon, I say it was a solid 8 out of 10. There's a bit too much fluff, but that's always the case for the 40 to 50 minute directs. So you give it an 8 out of 10. You're a little bit higher than me, but we're within the same range, basically. Sabbath 64. So another half year until the next Nintendo Direct. I mean, we may not have to wait until June, but conceivably, yeah, conceivably. That's just 4 months from now, though. It's not half a year. It's 2/3 of a year. I mean, 1/3 of a year. So that's not too bad. Visible Broken. I feel that it would have been stronger if they ended with Skyward Sword. I don't know about that. I think Splatoon 3 was pretty big. I mean, that Splatoon 3's hype. I guess my thing is Splatoon 3 is so far off. And, I mean, seeing, like, the ruins and stuff was cool. Yeah, Splatoon 3's big. Well, let me see if I can add Brandon real quick so I can get his thoughts on here. Let me see, guys. Let me see if I can get him on here for a little bit. Maybe. Jeez, his power's up, but he's saying his internet might be back. I don't know if my Discord's gonna open up. Why? Maybe I just didn't click it. I don't know. It's not open. Not working. Discord doesn't want to work. It's not happening. I don't know why. Yeah, Brandon, if you can hear me, Discord just doesn't want to open, so it can't really. Don't know. Computer's being weird, man. The audio was just not working for the direct at the beginning, which was lame. But man. Let me see. It could be like I can't. It's just not. It's not working. Task manager. Let's see. Maybe Discord's like running in the background and just being dumb. Appears like it. Yeah. Maybe it'll open up now if I try. See if I can get you in here, Brandon. Yep. Alright, so Brandon's gonna come on for a little bit, guys, so we can talk a little bit about this together before we close things out. We'll see if we can take it. If you guys have any more questions in the chat, for sure, put them out there. Just gonna give Brandon a chance to get on here. Bear with me, guys. Brandon, I'm giving you a call. You better be ready, buddy. You better be ready. Something tells me it's just not gonna work.
Yo.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I guess it is working. All right. Yeah. I don't know how much of a stream you got to watch, but my initial reaction to Pyra and Mythra was completely like not. The beginning of the direct was not audible for people, so I had to try and fix it and like only semi pay attention to it.
Yeah, I had to watch. I have my phone giving a hotspot to my PC because the internet's out here, so I had to watch just the direct with nobody's reactions and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. So
But, I was very curious of what you were gonna. I there were so many announcements. I was like, Andres has to be freaking out right now. He's gotta be. There's so many. I was like, we've been saying this for so long.
I mean, I feel like our predictions are been pretty good, right? I predicted February Nintendo Direct around this time, focusing on Zelda. It didn't focus on Zelda, I guess, so that's kind of wrong. But we got Age of Calamity DLC confirmed. They mentioned Breath of the Wild 2, and they confirmed Skyward Sword HD. It's exactly as we thought it would be. Exactly, like to a T. Every little detail we thought there would be is there. And our prediction window for when it would come out is we're within a month of that, right? Like we both agreed first half 2021. It's coming out in June instead of May, but it's still really close. It's still positioned in a way where Breath of the Wild 2 can still be the big holiday release later into the year.
Yeah, for sure. I was a little bit surprised it's coming out just a little bit past. Was it June or was it July? Because I thought it said July.
I thought it was June.
For Skyward Sword.
Let me see if I can go back to that.
Something was in July.
Let me see if I can go back to that. And, will they just... Sequels! Look at this. This is what's the next suggested thing. And then the Breath of the Wild, like, Nintendo. We wanted Breath of the Wild too, man. What are you waiting on? You know what it is? They probably aren't sure if it's going to come out this year. So maybe...
It is July. It's July 16th.
Oh, so I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
That's gonna be a little bit before my birthday, dude. I want those controllers.
Oh yeah,
they look so cool. I've never wanted a Joy-Con more.
So we're 2 months off. Still, July is still fairly early though, you know. So Breath of the Wild, I think a holiday Breath of the Wild 2 release is not out of the question. I'm actually right now looking at the Age of Calamity stuff. I want to see because they had like the info card.
They just went so fast through that, and I couldn't even read the info card. It was just like I've got like 3.
It's also hard to read.
Sentences in. It was just bam, done. They really skipped over that. They had it, but they didn't take time to like read out what.
You can barely read it. All right, so week 1 available June. Newly added weapon types. Oh, there's some newly added weapon for Link, newly added costs. There's a couple like promotional things coming out in May. Then in June, new weapons, expanded roster, new challenges in the Royal Ancient Lab, newly added challenging enemies. Wave 2, new character vignettes, new added stages, expanded roster, new battle skills for existing characters, $20. So if you're really into Age of Calamity, this will be a good package for you.
Seems like there's a lot in it for a decent price.
Yeah, that's fine. Though notice how they confirmed November for this wave. And wave 1 comes out in June. You said Skyward Sword HD is not coming, it's coming out in July?
Yeah, July.
Okay. Where's my date? Does this trailer not even have it? Screw you, GameSpot. You're not the trailer I wanted.
Please.
Most of the big trailers are on Nintendo's.
Please.
I just
want the Wild.
I don't know where the date
ran.
is.
Even the con.
The date for what?
For Skyward Sword.
Oh, it's at the end of the Skyward Sword trailer.
I looked. Oh, July 16th.
Following this Nintendo Direct.
16th, yeah, you tripped me up because you said June. No,
I'm sorry, guys. I said July. I said June instead of July.
It's July, yeah. July.
All right, but that's fine. But yeah, well, how do you feel overall about this Direct?
I feel like they had a lot of really good big announcements, but they also kind of dragged on with a lot of like small stuff and stuff that I didn't care about. And then some stuff that I don't think anybody cares about, like the DC superhero girls thing. I feel like maybe like 1% of people who saw that actually cared. That one was kind of cringy. But
Yeah.
overall, I think there were definitely big stuff peppered in between. So it wasn't like too long before I got
So,
something that
I mean, I
really
would
cared
say this
about.
is like a middle of the road kind of direct, right?
I'd say the way it's presented
comparable
is-
to, in terms of overall, like if you just look at the high points, I would say the high points are very comparable to what we saw with other earlier Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
They
it's a,
confirmed one big new
you know-
game coming to the system. There's some DLC
Usually
updates.
around this time we get direct minis, so it's definitely a lot better than we usually get for earlier stuff.
Yeah, I think the thing is that when you sort of consider how long of a wait it's been since the traditional Direct, there's kind of like a high expectation of it sort of kind of making up for lost
Yeah.
time, right? And that's what
Well,
this
the thing
Direct
is, it's
didn't
not
do
like-
that.
I don't think it would have though, because it's been a while since we have Nintendo Direct, but it's not like they haven't been giving us news in other ways. Like there
Right.
just wasn't much stuff, period. It's not like we have a year's worth of literal silence and no announcements for them to make up for. They've still been announcing it, just in different ways. So there's not really any catch up that they need to do.
That's one way to look at
You
it,
know what I
for
mean?
sure. I mean, I get what you're saying. I guess, like, 2020 had a lot of slow moments, though. Like, with there were
Yeah,
months
it was
where we
just
didn't get games.
slow in general.
But yeah, if you just look at 2021 so far, I mean, I mentioned it earlier. Bowser's Fury just came out. Love it, by the way. In March, we're getting Monster Hunter Rise. Nintendo's definitely pushing that. April, we're getting new Pokemon Snap. We're getting Miitopia in May, which, you know, some people are going to like that game. And then June, not June, July, Skyward Sword HD. And obviously, we're getting Bravely Default 2, like, this month. And then No More Heroes 3 is confirmed for
26, I
August.
think.
Yeah. Those trailers, those controls, I might actually have it on the video right now, but those Joy-Cons for Skyward Sword HD look amazing.
So cool.
Yeah.
Dude, I need them. Like, I probably won't even actually play with them because I like just using a
I
Pro
need new
controller,
Joy-Cons
but
anyway.
I need
so
them anyways.
Yeah, I need new Joy-Cons
And
anyways.
I might want to use the motion control version for Skyward Sword. I do like the motion controls in that game. So, depending on how the right stick feels, I might use both, or maybe even just stick to motion controls, period.
Yeah.
Unless the right stick just ends up being like OP and awesome, and oh, this makes so much more sense than the motion controls, and then I guess I'll use that. But I kind of have a feeling it won't.
I don't know.
I kind of have a feeling
I
there
don't
will be
know.
something to
That's tough.
using the motion controls.
Yeah. Kieran Buckley, Andre, why does Nintendo love Mario Golf so much? The series isn't that good. You know, actually, I was not.
People were begging for Mario Golf.
A lot of
Like,
people.
I've heard a lot of people, like, there are people in Sean's stream who were like, please, Mario Golf, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know people liked Mario Golf so much. But I gotta say, that mode where you can, like, run around the map and, like, try to hit it in first when it's always your turn kind of mode, dude, that one actually looked legit awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah. That running around, that part got me excited. It's like, oh, this does look pretty cool. And there's an adventure mode too, so
Yeah, the story mode
yeah,
looked great.
It does look like kind of going. It looks like they're going all out for this. But I didn't see any hints towards online stuff. I'm just kind of assuming it's there.
I assume we will have online.
Yeah, I assume.
I think
right?
the other ones have.
And also there's got to be like that obvious Wii Golf sort of sentiment there, right? Like it better have that kind of gameplay. Like it better. Wii Golf was great. Gameplay
cool.
was great, and so yeah, it looked fine. The game looks pretty enough.
That one's coming out in June 25th.
Oh, okay, that's the June game. Thank you. There we go. It makes sense. So Nintendo's sort of like set going into the summer, And
Yeah,
then
got tons of games.
around then we get a big presentation, hopefully, finally, with Breath of the Wild 2 news, maybe also Metroid news, right? So we'll just wait on that. We'll just wait.
The comments under YouTube I'm looking at, and people are really excited. Like, really, really excited, I have to say. There's a lot of people who are... For Mario Golf, there's a lot of people who are like, this was the best announcement in the whole Direct. Like, people like Mario Golf. And I gotta say, the graphics are very nice looking. The art style that they chose and the graphical fidelity is good enough to where it's actually super attractive.
How'd you feel about
looking
Skyward
game.
Sword HD?
I mean, it's essentially just the game in 1080p.
Yeah, it didn't look like they did that much reworking.
I think
like,
the
it looks
textures
fine.
probably are enhanced.
I
think it's one of those things where it's hard to tell without having a side-by-side comparison, because you don't realize how low resolution a lot of effects and textures are.
When I go back to
that are
Skyward Sword on my Wii
resolution.
U, it looks rough, and that's on the Wii U, or it's technically
Yeah.
upscaled a little bit. But
and the textures looked fine in the trailers.
it looks fine, but I
did
guess the
work on
point I'm
that.
trying to get at, it doesn't look like they invested a lot of time into sort of redoing this. Like
No.
It's bare bones is not the word I want to use, but it's more like they did. I'm not trying to be negative about it. It's just kind of
There's
like
not really that much more they could do with this game. It's like Wind Waker HD. Sure, they didn't do a lot, but what else were they?
I mean, they
gonna
did
do?
more. I think Wind Waker HD seems like a more vast upgrade. That's what I'm getting at. It feels like Wind Waker HD.
Wind Waker
and-
HD was also just a really easy style to make look ridiculously better. With
True,
almost no work.
but I also feel like Twilight Princess HD had more work done. Than
Oh,
what I'm
Twilight
saying.
Princess HD had a ton of work done.
Right.
They rehauled like so much of that game, and
Right.
people still were like, "This looks terrible."
I guess what I'm just saying here is that it doesn't look like they redid all the textures in this game. It looks like they just upscaled the game to HD, and I'm sure they
I
did some
think
very
they-
subtle things, but it's all very subtle is my point.
I think they revamped the textures that were already there, or used original assets, because they definitely look higher resolution. Like, they would look really blurry and terrible if they were the original.
I'm looking
asset.
forward to this version of the game compared to Dolphin. That's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
imagine it would just be the texture difference if there is.
Yeah, the point I'm
assuming
getting,
there is,
I'm trying to
but-
get at though, Brandon, isn't that I'm not trying to be negative on this. I'm actually excited for this. What I'm trying to get at though is that it's clear to me they did everything that should be expected for a Skyward Sword remaster, but they didn't go the extra mile like they did for 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, right? Because
No,
3D
they did
World
not do
looks better, right? 3D World looks better. Bowser's Fury looks great. That's a whole other campaign added. There's a lot of quality of life changes, things of that nature. Now, granted, there may be more information about this we don't know yet, but it does seem like basically they took the game and made sure both styles of controls would work with the system and spruced up the visuals somewhat, just for it to match the Switch and widescreen 1080p. And that's fine. That's all I really needed. Maybe have hero mode accessible from the beginning as well. And that's all I really need for this. But the reason why I think that matters is because it goes to show you this wasn't the major developmental focus for the year. Really, I'm just trying to get at that. This is still a Breath of the Wild 2. Like, Breath of the Wild 2 is still the Zelda game of this year. Is really what I'm trying to get at here. Like that's my
Right.
vibe from this.
Yeah. I can't say that I'm not slightly worried that because they didn't even announce the release date. There's like a fear creeping up on me, like, oh god, what if it doesn't come out this year?
It could. I mean,
and it's
I
not
mean,
necessarily what I think.
It could be
I'm
a
pretty
March.
sure it will still come out this year.
It
but
could be a March 2022 thing.
Could be.
It
It could
could
be a
be.
this fiscal year thing.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That is definitely a possibility.
This wouldn't be too bad, but still. Like,
Oh.
jeez.
Okay.
But just knowing that for a fact we're gonna get information this year tells me that this is at least at the very latest. I expect it to be like March. I think it will be within this fiscal year, because I don't think that they're going to give a bunch of new information. I think the information they're talking about is an actual blowout. Like, the name of the game, all what's going on with the story, and like everything, and a release date. I think that's what we're gonna get when we see it.
Yeah.
That's what they pretty much did for Breath of the Wild. They just like didn't show anything. They confirmed release dates. They had like one release date confirmation trailer, which wasn't even right. It said 2016. It was like the basic overview, and then we didn't get anything. And then that E3, they just blew everything out, and it was just a whole big show almost dedicated to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And then it came out within that fiscal year. So
it's conceivable. It is conceivable. Onyx, what are you doing back there? Can you just relax? What are you doing back there, buddy? Yeah, I mean, it is entirely possible that we have to wait a little bit longer to see Breath of the Wild 2, but either way, I think we do get like the gameplay blowout this year, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
they're not gonna just do another. I don't think that more information coming this year was just another teaser.
Say it again.
When they promised that they would show something of Breath of the Wild 2 this year, I don't think that they were referencing only a teaser.
I want to kind of see what they. I want to kind of go over what he said. Is there anything available yet where I can look?
That's a good idea.
I mean, because he said it before the Skyward Sword stuff, so I have to go through the entire direct.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not hard to find because it's towards the end. Here, I got it. I'm gonna mute the background music that is there. I hope people notice. I'm just still complaining about how my audio was not working in the beginning of the direct. It's purely my fault. I should have done a test.
Hello there, I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. I'm sure a lot of you saw me and thought there might be news about the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share right now. We apologize. Development is proceeding smoothly, and we should be able to bring you some new information this year.
Okay. No, so
For now,
it is
we'll have
coming
to
this
ask
year.
you to wait just a bit longer.
Yeah. There it is.
While you're all waiting, however, this Legend of Zelda game will be coming to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Please take a look.
Hold on.
Adventure not
I
to
want
be-
to check one thing.
How's it going? So, please, Nintendo.
Hello there, I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series.
Waiting for.
I'm sure a lot of you saw me and thought there might be news about the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game.
Okay, that's what I wanted to see if he referred to it as Breath of the Wild 2 or the sequel. Okay, so he still called it the sequel to Breath
I
of the
think
Wild.
just the sequel.
He said sequel. I just want to double check that. That's all.
I don't think there's any official time that they called it Breath of the Wild 2.
No, that's purely a fan thing because it's just easier to say than the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Sometimes I say Botwa too, because BOTW Botwa too. That's just a me thing. I don't say that publicly.
It's like
usually.
maybe slightly faster to say.
Botwa 2, as opposed to Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one or two syllables less. But...
Yeah. When we were so used to saying Breath of the Wild, that's 4 words, right? But it's breath, so it's very quick, of the wild. Yeah.
It's like, 5 syllables?
Yeah. But anyway, so we are, there it is from Nintendo. This is hard confirmation that we will get actual information about the sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild later this year. That is hard confirmation right there. So, there's still Zelda stuff. Confirmation of Breath of the Wild 2 news this year. Skyward Sword HD coming out a month after the first half of 2021. And also Age of Calamity DLC. They were very quick about the Zelda news, It is interesting.
They just rushed right through it.
It does
take a second to explain. At least read the thing on screen.
It does make me wonder if there will be a Zelda Direct, right? Because the Age of Calamity DLC stuff, they kind of really were very quick about it. Skyward Sword HD could definitely have another presence in a presentation where they give more details right? Obviously Breath of the Wild 2, and if they want to have Zelda eShop releases, they can do like this. They still could conceivably have a Zelda anniversary presentation later on. I don't know when they would do that though. I think ideally it happens before Skyward Sword HD comes out, right? So
probably
somewhere between now and July. I see that's where I want to kind of hold off on that because, well, I mean, maybe June for an E3 presentation they could do that, but would they really just do it? Would they just have a Zelda Direct, or would they have an E3 presentation? You know what I mean? Like,
right. I just don't know what's going on with E3 this year. Who knows what they'll do?
Yeah,
if they decide to do anything.
But I think that the fact that Nintendo has returned to having General Nintendo Directs, I think they're gonna probably have like another major Direct in the middle of the year. Yeah. So I think what the expectation should be like 3 Directs in a year: early year, mid year, late year. Kind of like 4-month intervals, right? Which places is in June. But I guess the question is, do we get a Zelda presentation before that? Or is all the Zelda focused then? See, if you look at the Age of Calamity DLC waves, right, there's some bonus content coming out in May, but then the first wave is coming out in June. So conceivably, they could have the presentation in June, talk about the Age of Calamity DLC stuff in this Zelda-focused Direct, presumably, right? So it's still a Direct about other things, but Zelda's the focus. They talk about Age of Calamity stuff, so we actually see content there, footage of what's going to be in it, and it's like, oh, coming out later today or a few days from now or something. You know what I mean? I think there's a hard date. I just know it's June. It might just be June 2021. But so they could do like that. They could shadow drop Age of Calamity DLC Wave 1 after this presumable like Zelda focused Direct. Yeah. So maybe that makes sense.
Yeah, I do think that they would just do a big Direct, right, and not like a Zelda specific one.
Because it would be weird to do that like right before.
They need to.
Yeah. That's the point. That's the point to be made. And I think I heard someone say that the Mario 35th Anniversary Direct is a bit of an outlier because, well, they probably weren't able to do it what they initially planned because of COVID. Like, they probably created the 35th Anniversary Mario Direct as a sort of a way to present all that information because they weren't able to do things the normal way. Maybe. Certainly possible.
They don't usually have Anniversary Directs.
It was a unique thing, for sure. Yeah. I think that's it, really. How do you feel about Pyra and Mithra?
I'm kind of glad that Rex isn't. I'm not a huge fan of Rex, so it's not that I hate him, but like, I'm not like upset that he's not playable.
Sure.
I kind of like that it's just Pyra and Mithra and you can switch between them at will.
Sure.
I'm gonna need to see more of how they play.
Yeah.
But they looked like something like character I would enjoy. So
when I got the chance to actually watch the trailer without trying to fix audio issues, I saw that Pyra was very like a hard-hitting sort of mid-range sword fighter with fire, and they said that Mithra was like more fast. So that's interesting.
She had like that fox teleport kind of.
So you switch between hard hitting and speed, which I think is nice for sure. So I think that's pretty cool. You still have sort of like that switching mechanic. It's not exactly in the way we sort of were hoping and speculating. That would have been a much harder to develop, to have like Rex and Pyra or Rex and Mithra on screen at all times. Then they would do things in conjunction. Not impossible, but that's fine. I'm okay with what they did. I like it. I'm excited for it. I watched the trailer and I almost cried on stream, just saying. So it definitely made me happy to see that. So I'm excited for that. But
yeah, I was super excited for that.
Yeah. So I guess my highlights are Pyra, Mithra, and Smash, Skyward Sword HD coming out in the summer, which gives me hope for Breath of the Wild 2 for the holiday, and Splatoon 3 is big. I mean, there's no denying that that's big. Like, I just don't think we needed to see it in that way at the end. I felt like there was a need for something else. But again, I guess Nintendo holding off on it. One could be because maybe they're not ready to show it off, but the fact that they're confirming to show it off later this year, I think means that they have a plan, and I think the plan is probably to have a Zelda focus, and they just weren't ready to have to go full Zelda focus now. But it's already clear from what they showed that they do have plans for Zelda throughout the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I should have just stuck. Yeah, last year, I remember there was a time when I was dead certain they wouldn't show Breath of the Wild at the Game Awards or in an earlier direct, and they were gonna wait all the way to like E3 to share anything. And now I feel like that's what's happening, and I shouldn't have backed down from my original prediction. Because all this stuff about maybe there's a Zelda direct on and stuff like that, and I was like, maybe there will be a trailer, but no. Should have stuck with my original.
I don't know, man. Like, it's all over the place, right? Like, everyone was saying, we're probably not getting a direct till later in the year. And I was like, yeah, you know what? February. That's what I'm thinking. So I was right about that, right? And then we were talking about Pyra and Mythra getting into Smash Bros. Granted, with Rex, but Pyra and Mythra are in Smash Bros. Even though there's a lot of people saying that wouldn't happen. People were saying Nintendo Directs would be dead. Nope. They were happening, right? So, like, there are predictions that I've made, and I've been like, they worked out. Skyward Sword for first half of 2021, technically wrong. But summertime, like, it's pretty close, right? It's pretty close. So I feel pretty good about most of my predictions. Of course, I want to see Breath of the Wild 2 sooner, so I guess I'll take the L on that. But they at least addressed it, you know what I mean? They didn't just ignore it. They addressed it.
Yeah.
And that was my thing, that it would just be weird for Nintendo to not even address it, and they at least addressed it. So I think they did the bare minimum, actually, for what they should have done. That's fine. Bare minimum of what will be okay. Like, this is okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just when we do finally see it, it's gonna be incredible. Just not yet.
It's gonna be great.
Just not yet. Gotta wait a little bit longer.
What I found the most surprising out of anything that was announced was definitely Splatoon 3. Because they had to have lied to us. Because the year or two ago, they said they were not working on Splatoon 3. Liars! They 100% were working on Splatoon 3. There's no way it's coming out next year when they said that they were not, at least in the heavy planning
legit,
stages
like
for
a
the
year
game.
ago, they had a teaser of Salmonids. So that's, Salmonids saying help us. So I think that's strongly related to the story for Splatoon 3. Maybe an extended salmon run mode in the game. It is strange because you're right. They said that. So like that's why I was thinking it's probably gonna be more of a spin-off. Like, I mean, we've talked about it, right?
I thought so too. Like,
yeah,
that old open, I thought it was some kind of spin-off because it really didn't look like the next installment until they got into that city section. I was like, oh, dang, is this actually
it still
Splatoon
felt like
3?
maybe a spin-off, right? I
was like, no, it's gotta be a spin-off. They said they weren't working on Splatoon 3.
Yeah, but that it is what it is. We got the.
I'm pretty hyped.
Yeah. Let's see. Is this still the direction? Right. So because Splatoon at the end, I could kind of play that footage back while we sort of. I mean, it's got like that dystopian sort of feel to it. I mean, that's what Splatoon's all about, right? So.
Yeah.
So is this just the intro to the game?
I'm guessing. Or the intro to the story mode, maybe.
That's the other weird thing. Like, this just feels like. Why are they showing this kind of like content when it's a year away, at least?
I think they want to show off something that makes it look different because they don't want to show off just new stages or something. Because I think a lot of people are like,
but the fact
what
that
makes this different than Splatoon 2?
My thing is that and you're like actually running along here. Like, what is this? Is there more to the hub world? Right? This related to the campaign or something? I guess
it's probably the campaign.
The other weird thing is that it looks like they actually showed some level of gameplay. The fact that we're going through menus and picking your actual avatar, that's just strange to me. You know what it tells me? It tells me that they're gonna, while the game's coming out in 2022, I think they're gonna have like an early demo, like saying that we'll play in 2020.
Probably.
That's what
I
I'm
imagine
kinda
this
thinking.
will be like a spring to early summer 2022 game.
Yeah, but I feel like we're gonna get a beta test this year. That's what I'm getting at. Like a test fire.
Yeah, they could do that this year, like later this year.
Yeah.
Or at the
just.
I think there definitely will be a test fire. There always is, but it might be early next year though.
I just think it's weird that they would show gameplay like that so early. You know, it could be
Yeah.
as like it could be like this could be like the end of the fiscal year, actually. Yeah, I could see that. I could see Splatoon this game taking the place of Animal Crossing in 2022.
Yeah, it could come out in March.
Yeah. Isn't it the same development team?
I mean, the first one came out in May, so
aren't the Animal Crossing and Splatoon teams the same, like EPD group, I believe? I mean, obviously they have a lot of different people. They can work at different things at one time. It's just interesting that because Animal Crossing's huge, and that really just came out less than a year ago. Granted, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I feel like Splatoon 3 is going to be an early 2022 title, like to close out this fiscal year. And if it is to close out this fiscal year, it goes back to Breath of the Wild 2. That strengthens the idea that that would be like the holiday title. But that's all assuming that I'm right here, and there's a lot of assumptions. So we'll see what happens.
I like how Splatoon 3 seems to be taking some sort of inspiration from games like Fortnite, because you can choose where you want to drop, and there's a lot of other like arena fighters that after the battle royales became big, they started incorporating that more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And so now Splatoon's doing that, which is cool.
Yeah. What were your thoughts when you saw the very beginning? Like, were you like, what game is this? What game is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you
honestly had no clue. And then I was like, oh, it's some kind of Western adventure?
Like, obviously, once they showed the girl, I was like, yeah, it's Splatoon, right?
Yeah.
But
when it was just like the trains in the desert, I was like, what is this?
So
like,
let me see if I can go like shot by shot here for you guys watching the stream, right? So when it was just like the blue sky and just a circle of rocks, I was like, maybe this is 2D Metroid and it's an alien planet. But once they showed the trains, I'm like, this is probably not Metroid. There's like cars and stuff. I don't know what this is. This better be a Nintendo product. And then I see Splatoon girl. I'm like, okay, inkling. All right, it's Splatoon. This is it. This is the spin-off we've been waiting for. And then all the way until they went to the hub, that I was like, yeah, this is some sort of cool dystopian loner, maybe Salmon's sort of run kind of extension to the story, spin-off kind of thing. And then when the bus ended, when the bus portion ended, I was like, oh crap, this is a hub world. Is they really doing Splatoon 3 so soon? And they are. I mean, it's not really that soon, because 2022 is going to be 5 years after 2017, which is, you know, Splatoon 3, right? But this also kind of supports the conversations we've had about all the teams that worked, the games that came out in 2017, the people who worked on those games. We're now going to start seeing the fruits of those efforts over the last 4 or so years, right? Here's one of them.
Yeah.
So,
you know something cool that people may or may not care about or even understand what I'm trying to say? They seem to have made a cool upgrade to the engine for this game that adds some sort of simulated global illumination system, which is basically like light bouncing around. And it can cause like if you look at 106, there's like the trains coming into the station. In the trailer, you gotta go to the trailer.
Yeah, I'm in the direct, so it's kind of hard for me to find. Give me a second.
Yeah, you gotta go to the trailer.
Splatoon 3. Okay, there we go. 106, you say?
Yeah, where you can see like the trains come in, and she's on like the platform. You can see the light from that's being off the sand. It's casting red glow onto the underneath of the bridge. It's like orange glow.
It's not really a bridge.
Not a bridge, a platform, not a bridge.
Sure, a platform. I mean, I guess I kind of see what you're saying.
Anyways.
Yeah, I see that.
It's It's called global illumination.
Like the steps have a different color. Each step has a different color based off how close it is to the ground.
Yeah.
Makes
That's because
sense.
the color from the sand is bouncing onto it. That's
That
not a
makes
very
sense. Yeah, for guys who are kind of
typical
curious
thing.
what we're talking about, like if you look here, the bottom step's the lightest, and then it kind of changes in color as we go up. Also more inward as well. Interesting. As you go further away from the sand, makes sense.
That wasn't
yeah.
previously in any.
I mean, if you look at this environment, this is the most open environment we've seen in Splatoon. I mean, it's not actually open. I don't know. It might be on rails or whatever. But just in terms of like how far off you can kind of see, it's interesting, right? I mean, I know in every level you can see off in the background, but it's just like this almost looks like you could walk there. You know, I'm not saying it will let you walk there, but that's just kind of how it looks. I definitely, it does feel like a nice visual bump so far, and it's still early
The
on.
only other game that Nintendo's ever released that has global illumination in it that I know of is Yoshi's Crafted World, because it used Unreal Engine 4's global illumination.
Sure. And just taking a look at the inside the train scene, like there is a lot of nice little like lights and shadows that I think look pretty good. Like when they're all sitting down.
Yeah.
Like you see the salmon, the little fish lard thing in the front. You see how the light is for him, right? Like there's various
they have a depth
tones
of
there.
field for the camera.
Because like there's a shadow that's casted by the train, but then there's a varying light coming out of the window hitting him, right? So there's I know you love that different torch. I don't know what you call it, what term you use for that, but there's a lot of different lighting things going on there. Contrast. There you go.
A lot of contrast, yeah.
Then you look at Inkling Girl, right? You see the shine on one part of her face, it sort of changes, but then of course there's the other shadow just that cuts off because of she's in a train. So light coming from the window and then not. It looks good. I mean, you know, this game looks cool. Like, obviously.
I like the depth of field they use for the fish in the foreground.
There's also a lot more of a dry, sort of sunny desert feel we have for everything we've seen so far.
Yeah.
The setting is very
different.
Very different. I wonder if this is like, I mean, obviously it's probably a different location. I wonder if it connects to the other locations. I don't know. It's cool stuff for sure. But let me check in with the chat here before we sort of end the stream. Let's see here. Visible Broken Atomy. Next available time for when we might see more Breath of the Wild 2 is around E3 time most likely. Yeah, that seems to be what Brandon and I are kind of coming to a conclusion with as well. Jeffrey Hines, Nintendo Treehouse to show Breath of the Wild 2 and Splatoon 3 competition. Yeah, that makes sense. Visible Broken is their first direct back since 2019, so I think we should cut them some slack, but it still doesn't take away that it was a pretty weak direct. Paint Fat Purple. I mean, it wasn't the best direct of all time, but it wasn't the worst either. It's kind of middle of the
by my 8 out of 10. There's a lot of games that I was hyped for.
Middle of the road for me. Which still means good things. Paint Fat Purple added me. You're on a roll of correctness. Thank you, Paint Fat Purple. I'm glad you think so. Let's see here. Visible Broken. I think the fact that Splatoon 3 comes out in 2022 could point out that it may come out on the Switch Pro. I mean, I would assume that if Switch Pro is coming out, that if it comes out in 2022, it would definitely be available for that. Dumo Plays, what's up, buddy? OMG, man, was not what I expected at all. They went back to more of a Splat 1 style of ink. What do you mean by, like, what am I... How is Splat 1 different from Splat 2?
What's the difference? I think that it's like... Honestly, don't know.
I mean, I guess I'm not...
I'm
not as avid of a Splatoon player as Dumo is, so...
I know there's different differences in the ink between the two games. I'm just not certain which one.
Yeah, I don't know what
he's referring
but I don't
to.
know what that is. Is it like a gameplay thing? Is it a style thing? Check the ink on the map. It's flatter. So is that a good thing? What does that mean? Does it allow for more movement or something?
Oh, the deformation on it's not as good as the second one. That is
less reflections.
I think. Yeah, it's much
Oh,
less
okay.
translucent too.
But is that related to just it being early in development? You know?
I don't know.
Or is it an adjustment made so they can do more with everything else in the game?
It might be... I don't know, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
The resolution looks slightly lower than the other ones.
It's
too.
still early in development.
But I'd have to pixel count it. Yeah, it's still in development. One thing I will note is that the material work on literally everything is way better. Especially if you look at the guns. Like in those close-up shots at like 216, where they're popping out of the little transports, and you look at the weapons, they look so much better.
There is a lot more going on with some of them.
The metal
some cool new
especially
weapons
looks
there.
really good. Like in the original and even in 2, a lot of the materials look very much the same. So there's no contrast between like metal or plastic or anything like that. But in this, you can clearly see like the difference between like little metal rivets and the and the other plastic barrels and stuff.
Yeah. Interesting. I do again like that you're gonna be able to kind of control where you land on the map a little bit.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff there.
And you can see where other people are gonna drop too. So you can see where your
Alright.
teammates are trying to head.
I'm just still sort of surprised that they showed this off in February when it's coming out in 2022. You know, that's just...
Yeah.
It's just strange. Maybe they were just thinking, we need to show something cool off. Let's show this.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, is there anything else you want to address, Brandon, before we call it a day?
Real quick, I did want to know what your opinion was on... Hold on, let me get the name. I forgot exactly what it was called. Project Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, it looks like an
I thought it was
actual
awesome.
sequel to Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, it's like a... It's not really a sequel, but it's like a spiritual sequel.
Successor. So you get my... It's using the same art style. It seems like the same development team.
Yeah. But the gameplay is very different.
I don't remember the name. Something Triangle Strategy.
Triangle Strategy.
Oh, really? That's the name?
It's in the second row on their video list.
Project Triangle Strategy.
Yeah.
And it just looks like Octopath Traveler.
Looks like they're going for more of a Fire Emblem type battle system though. But with its own like unique things too as well.
I like the...
They showed you could burn down buildings. That was crazy.
And the decision making, how it affects the game and stuff.
Yeah, you can change the entire story.
I like the concept of
We'll see
Iron
how
versus
that holds
Salt
up.
and the 3 different factions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a demo, so we could try it out. Cool stuff. Cool
Yep.
stuff. For sure. Yeah, I mean, you know, guys, so this is a Nintendo Direct that is a full-scale Nintendo Direct, right? We had a lot of smaller things. It kind of... All the things we'd expect to see in a partner showcase were there, right? We got a nice, quality Smash reveal that basically made me cry once I saw it actually for the second time / first time. We finally got Skyward Sword HD confirmed. There's still hope for Breath of the Wild 2, but we didn't get it yet. Still no Donkey Kong, still no Metroid, but there's still a whole year left. Splatoon 3 finally announced, and surprised that they announced it now and the way they did, but
yeah,
that's fine. It's gonna be great. As you were saying, Brian, is this triangle strategy project game? It seems pretty fun. They showed off more Monster Hunter Rise, and Monster Hunter Rise looks sick. They showed off more of that game.
Yeah.
It just looks really cool. Being able to fight all those monsters all at one point. It's like almost like a separate mode or a different part of the experience of the game. So that's pretty cool. Seeing the sisters fight too, like they can kind of tag alongside of you. It seems at certain points. That seems fun. Yeah. Well, overall, you know, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. If we do out of 10, 7. It's a 7 out of 10 for me. Overall, it's fine enough.
Sticking with my 8 out of 10.
But I think this means Nintendo's back. So, yeah, Nintendo's back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. There will be things to talk about. I have a lot to process here. for sure. I don't even know what's next. I might have to. I don't know. I don't know. There's just so much to process right now, and probably work on too. But things will be coming. Stay tuned. Make sure to check out Brandon as well. You're not in the description. I'm sorry. I didn't know you would be here. But what about Nod Narb?
That's fine.
If you search what about Nod Narb or what about Nintendo, even though it's his old name, it will pop up. So check him out, guys. But that's all for now. Take care.
Take care, guys.
See ya.